radio.
Gonna take it all the way. You better give me my temporary high stopper.
Right now. It's the Jason Ellis Show. Jason Ellis.
Yeah, I'm really pissed.
Michael Tully.
I'm not even trying to come.
Andrew Bruce.
I'm an idiot.
Grant.
Who would have thought eating a bowl of gum would pay off?
Mike Catherwood.
It was good in my head. Jason had to fuck.
And Will Pendarvis.
Fuck yeah!
I'm Will Pendarvis.
I'll see blowing up.
This is the Jason Ellis Show.
Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show /show of the week. I'm not sweating right now, so good chance I'll see you on Monday, but you never know. I want to thank some of my sponsors. I got a new sponsor, Urine. You never know when you're gonna need it. And meatball sandwiches, not subs, sandwiches with meatballs in them, and Urine. Those are two new sponsors. So yeah, a lot of people say the whole talk thing isn't going to pay off. Well, Urine, as much as I want, faction talk paid off. Oh, I need those one there. Just
Strong.
Will, where were you?
I was in the bathroom.
Doing urine, yeah. Yeah. Because we're all sponsored by it. Yeah. Yeah, you're way louder than the world has ever been. That's
sponsored
good.
too. You're in the money.
Yeah, you're in the money. You're in the money. Da, 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 da.
You're in Vandersloot?
Check it out. So last night I leave here and I got this thing lately where I'm just like sweaty and it, I don't know, man, it's freaking me out. But at the same time I'm like, whatever, it's always some shit else. And then I got to go see the specialist for my shit. What do you call it? With boobies and vagina, titty shit.
Urologist?
Yeah, sure. They gotta, check all my things so I don't, I don't grow tits or a beard or something.
Tits or a beard.
Endocrinologist is where you went.
Yeah!
Nice.
Thank you, Michael. So,
It takes one to know one.
yeah. So anyway, I gotta go see a special guy who doesn't take any insurance. Right? He's just gonna fuck me up the ass with all the money. And I'm like, whatever, man. I just fix me. And then it's supposed to be tonight. And then I'm waiting for Sam Tripoli to come over to my house to do the Ellistronics podcast. And then I get a phone call saying, Mr. Ellis, are you going to be here soon or what? I'm like, be where? They're like, at the doctor's appointment. I'm like, and I'm looking at Katie like, why is the doctor telling me that I should be there right now? They said Friday. I'm like, she's saying Thursday. And I'm like, he's going on vacation tomorrow. And I'm like, it's kind of a big deal. I'm actually freezing cold right now, sweating profusely with the hoodie on, and it's been going on for a couple of weeks. And she's like, okay, give me a second, I'll talk to him and see if I can call you back or something. I'm like, okay. They called back, they got all my test results, they got all my stuff from the other doctor, all the blood work, everything. Turns out nothing's wrong with you in that department at all. Everything's even.
Huge. Good.
And don't even need to come in. Good thing you didn't come because we would just charge you $700. $700 to visit him.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Regardless of what he does.
Regardless.
Oh, that's like a divorce attorney.
Right? I mean, anyway. So, yeah, you don't have to pay, and you don't, and that's okay. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. And hang up with my clam hands, and I'm like, okay, so it's not that. I'm like, so what? Now I got to go back to the doctor again and Katie's had sinus pressure for a week straight, and her antibiotics didn't work. So now she's taking the antibiotics that I took before when I had my prostate infection just a few weeks ago. And I'm like, man, is there like a gas leak in the house, or are you like, is there cat shit getting smeared on my pillow? Because what the fuck is wrong with us? You know?
Seems excessive.
Yeah, so at this point, and I know you would completely disagree with me because I actually thought of you. Because I was like, I just keep going to see people, and I just keep doing more shit. Get on more shit that doesn't do anything or makes it worse. Or I don't know, man, the original problem was that as bad as the ones that I have now. I'm like, maybe I should just fucking fuck all of it off. All of it. All the pills, the sleeping pills, everything.
Why do you think I would disagree with you? That sounds like
because
a pretty good
I
plan.
because I'm on Lexapro.
Oh, yeah, no, stuff that you, for your own health, you need to taper off of, for sure, like anything psychoactive. But for as far as, like, sleeping pills and antibiotics and stuff like that, the less the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, well, I won't take antibiotics. I'm not on that, but, I mean, I do take some. Anyway, I'm trying to console my wife this morning, and I was like, I don't know how much encouragement I have at this point. We might just be dead soon. I'm joking, but
it feels that way sometimes.
Little bit.
It sounds dramatic, but it just, even as an adult, I find myself every once in a while getting back to like 15-year-old Mike, where you just don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. You know, even though life kicks ass, if we really take a step back and look at, we're Americans. We're not going to starve. You know, we have a roof over our heads, that kind of thing. Our life is awesome. We have wives that love us and children that love us and all that. It's easy to get down that rabbit hole where it's just like, man, this seems hopeless and crappy.
yeah. So and then the other doctor he's on vacation now. So now Katie's kind of left in a little bit of a, I'm like, it'll work out. Remember I had 3 weeks of my antibiotics, and I was like, I don't feel any better. And at one point, I didn't take a shit for an entire day, and I was like, I don't feel right. And called the doctor, and he's like, you can stop taking them now.
Oh.
And I remember telling her, I'm like, he just sounded like he was like, oh, what? Your name's what? Yeah, stop taking them now. And I'm like, this is not good. Like, what? I think I'm pretty fucked right now. And then, 2 days later, I remember one sleep. I woke up in the morning, I'm like, I'm telling you, those antibiotics are so bad for people. Like, I woke up in the morning, I was like, I feel like shit, but it's 50% better than the shit than yesterday. And then, like after 3 or 4 days, I came out of it, and then my back locked up. Oh. But my back is starting to, I might be able to train a little bit this weekend. So I just gotta baby it. Wear like, what's that? Remember the dude with the red hair?
Condoms.
No, his name was not Condoms.
Carrot Top.
No, basketball player for the Celtics.
Brian Scalabrine?
Nah, way older and way bigger. He was the power.
Robert,
his son
Bill
played
Walton.
Longley. No, Bill Walton, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill Walton. All the knee brace and shit because his shit was all just bunged up.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how I should like jog or like do any sort of kettlebell. I should just have my shit just jimmied on.
Like those, you ever watch like professional grappling competitions?
Yes,
Where
and
there's
they
tape. They're balls of tape and braces.
Those are the one things that I know that is for sure out of my grasp. That is within 15 minutes. I am so like debilitated. It's insane. My knees. That's all it is. They just grab each other's ankles and knees and tweak them.
The whole new game is like leg locks and heel hooks.
Yeah. Oh, the jiu-jitsu people.
Yeah.
I know, because the 10th Planet guys. All the good guys, all they do is this other stuff on each other's feet, and it's just like, what the fuck, man? I don't want anything to do with that. I mean, it's really weird to with skateboarding, you can do some stuff wrong and you would tweak your leg. We're talking about a sport that's just about tweaking your leg. Don't tell me that you don't have sore legs every day training with these dudes who are just every single second you roll them, they're grabbing a fucking toe and trying to rip your leg off.
I never thought, I just got recently back into jiu-jitsu, and I really never thought that Muay Thai would be my safest hobby.
Yeah.
I find myself because I find myself I come back from Muay Thai, I'm tired, but I'm fine. You know,
Yeah.
I every time I leave jiu-jitsu, there's a finger that's wonky, a shoulder that got tweaked somehow, my neck is wrenched, my like you said, legs and ankles gone.
Yeah. It's very sad
It is.
because it's over.
It's exactly.
Yeah. You're kind of an idiot doing it, you know? Like, I don't think my wife pays that much attention to it, but it's almost like every time I go, I'm hurt for a month.
The time for golf may have come.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, like even like super heavy lifting, I may have reached my final.
Yeah.
Unless I'm gonna start supplementing.
Man,
yeah.
did you see the
But
guy?
you're such a natural 55-year-old HGH.
No, he's always been that way. Did you see the guy? I was going to post it for Ellis Mania, and then somehow I lost it, but a guy squats and blood just starts raining out of his nose
Way
as he's
intense.
squatting.
It was pretty metal.
And I fucking like bit it, and somehow my phone erased it. But I was going to use it for today's electronics because I was like, "That's as diesel as a human can be." Like he is yanking that weight up, and blood is just coming out of his face.
I
'Cause
loved that one. The ones where like the legs shatter, I can't cringe. The butthole's getting blown out. That's terrible. This one was just pure metal. It was so fucking awesome.
Yeah, he made it and it was good, but at one point his nose was like, "Well, that's coming apart."
It's pretty like that's an unnatural level of pressure on your body when your nose just shoots blood.
Yeah.
It's like these are done.
Yeah, how do you do
We
that?
have reached our limit.
Yeah, but he didn't pick a booger before it or anything. Like, just can you imagine just standing there and going, "Oh!" and making fucking blood rain? It wouldn't just leak, man. It fucking shot out down his face.
Well, look, I'm sure this guy was pushing the limits, and I'm sure it was an incredibly diesel metal moment, but if something extraordinary happens to somebody in that sort of competition, my mind goes to, well, did this guy put something in his body that made this sort of thing more likely to happen?
There's
I don't
all
know,
things in this
Amplitude.
man's body. He
Yeah,
he deadlifted over 900 and something. It was 900 and something pounds. So there's all things in this man's body.
But like literally, I don't know, is there a blood thinner that's involved with stacking a whatever with a whatever that makes you more apt to get a runny nose? That's where my imagination
Do you know powerlifters like that, like those guys, when you're talking about elite level, they use smelling salts almost before every lift. So that's something you put in your nose immediately before lifting. I don't know medically if that has anything to do with it. Or
Maybe he'd been whacking the salts all day and his nose is just tender as shit.
Maybe.
But then you think, all the blood that pumps, out of anybody that pumps blood through a body, his is pumping the hardest.
Yeah. I don't want to overthink it. I don't want to spoil the gif.
I was thinking about like an amphetamine or something, and I was like, there's no way this guy's snorting anything only because he has to eat too much.
Man,
There's nothing he would do that would prevent him from eating more.
I've been watching, all I watch is like old boxing fights, and like it's so weird. I was watching Evander Holyfield fight George Foreman, who had fought Muhammad Ali like fucking 20 years before that, and then I was in the craziest heavyweight slugfest, and he's an old man, and I'm like, this is Evander hadn't shaved his head yet.
Oh, so he had the high top fade?
Yeah, but he was he was fading as well, but it's such a bone cracking fight, and all these fights, fucking Hearns and all these other dudes, in my opinion, they're all on shit.
You
Because
think?
it was just before you. Because when I look at since the UFC got this new thing where this USADA's on them and it's pretty hard to dodge it.
Yeah.
So now all these people are getting caught, and a lot of people are starting to slow down, not look as buff as they used to, which I was getting used to that. And you think that it's only Pride times that they were using.
Oh, no.
And then I go, okay, well, Pride is shit level combat sports compared to what these other huge boxing fights that I watch every day, where all the money in the world is on this shit. Everybody's watching, and half of these motherfuckers are just, it's boxing, man. It's the most gangster shit there is. Like, the business is crooked as fuck. The fighters are all like Bone Thugs in Harmony. It's not like an easy game to be in, and everybody's tough as fuck, and they're all cheating, and their bodies looked crazy. And then there's like the people that went weight classes, they went up, Evander Holyfield was nowhere near a proper heavyweight, and then he just got bigger. And in the end, a couple fights he was in, he didn't even look that small.
By the way, and became a heavyweight, and not flabby. He became a heavyweight and looked like Mr. Olympia.
Yeah,
Was the most
because he was too
jacked.
little.
He was so jacked.
But he, if you look at the first couple of fights in heavyweight, he got way bigger. And I think about all the years that he lasted, all the years that Foreman lasted, all these years of their, I know boxers who say it's different. They get, they punch from their legs instead of their arms, so they don't get tired anymore. It's, it's a technique. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go with that. But fuck, man, I'm 46. Foreman was fighting. How old was he when he won the belt?
50, I think.
Right?
I think he was actually 50.
Oh, come on, man. And you're cracking people so hard.
I thought you were going...
I think everybody's done all of it.
Yeah, I thought you were going back to like the 70s and prior, but in the 90s, I agree. I agree completely. That
Look, I think all the tennis,
was
all the running, all the people you've seen do the... Because I just think now there's some people that have figured out how to bust a lot of people, and there's people that still think they can get one on USADA.
Well, I just know how prevalent steroids were in high school football in the 90s. So why would it be anything? I mean, I just can't imagine.
Why does everybody in MMA think that all of a sudden there's that everything has changed? You can't get away with it anymore.
Well,
why does everybody do that?
The timeline kind of works. So I think people were dabbling competitively with steroids, late 60s, early 70s is the total pioneers. And then I think of steroids entering mainstream competitive sports with Lyle Alzado and the Oakland, whatever the hell were, Raiders. That's late 70s into early 80s.
Yeah.
And that's... I kind of lump him in with Mr. T and Sylvester Stallone, and when cartoonishly huge became kind of cool.
Yeah.
And somehow from Lyle Alzado into a major league baseball clubhouse, a little hard to imagine. From Lyle Alzado into boxing, having the nature of the beast that you just described makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, a golden age of boxing.
Strength.
I know that's the other thing. If you go back, I last night and this morning, I've got at least 4 hours of big bouts under my belt that I've just watched recently, and some of these fucking fights, no one's doing that now. No one's taking that shot. That's the biggest thing I saw.
Yeah. And
no one's fucking dishing out where you can be almost unconscious. The 10th round of fucking, who is it? It's Holyfield and Biggs. I don't know who it is, but he gets lit. He's not even conscious, and then he gets it swarmed, and he's just teeter-tottering off the ropes, getting hit flush on the fucking head, and then gets a 15-second window of not getting hit, and then and he starts hitting the other guy, and that guy gets hit on the button over and over again, and it's and that's round 10. There's more. Everyone's awake. Some of the fights, people are so, when they're out, they're so out. They're so much more out then than they are now. They're people are unconscious standing up, and then the announcer's a ref needs to stand in. He needs to get in there. This is crazy. And then he finally gets in there, and then the guy is dying. You know what I mean? He crumbled. People are holding. Then he falls to the ground. People are holding. Then he's down on the ground, out. And then now he's convulsing. But he was standing until the ref called him. I don't think I see that anymore.
The evolution of fighting, can be marked by how much people avoid getting hit. I mean, if you look at fighters nowadays, compared that to you were pointing out the 90s, then look at Roberto Duran. Watch Hearns Hagler. Then go back to say the 50s. You look at Rocky Marciano or Jake LaMotta. Then go back to Jack Dempsey. That was unbelievable. That literally looks like two dudes standing still, trading punches.
Yeah.
I feel as the game has evolved, most of it is just defensive evasiveness.
Yeah, look, I think that everybody's better when it comes to that. I just think when it comes to heavyweights, I see... I've never seen anybody take flush shots and then return fire for 10 or 12 rounds. Usually if a heavyweight starts to piecing someone up, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, these guys really landed shots for not one, tons of them. And then they just keep going. I mean, 250-pound dudes just smacking each other in the head. You don't see that anymore.
No, you don't.
You get hit, that's it.
So did Mike Tyson use steroids?
Fuck it.
Guarantee it, yeah.
It's because I'm looking for.
I mean, we don't know, you know what I mean?
I'm looking for if that's come up or any admission, and he did say that in his book that he had a fake penis that he would piss through to drop in someone else's clean urine, but that was to cover
The coke.
cocaine and pot. As long as you're going that far, particularly, I think even if you don't think he was using it on the rise, or he was with Customato or whatever, at a certain point, I think it became, how can I balance a life of heavy partying with maintaining the heavyweight champion? And that seems like a really good time to try to cut some corners.
And also, the UFC, not MMA, the UFC right now, we are seeing for the first time a real, strict, understood, well thought out testing system.
Yeah.
And
people are still getting caught, which means they're still trying to get past it.
Players in the NFL in the 80s and 90s, and probably still today, and from what I understand, the Olympic, the WADA in generations past, it wasn't difficult to continually use performance enhancing drugs and not get caught. It was not something that took all that much.
I've said this
effort.
a million times, but Ben Johnson famously got popped. I think that was '88, the Canadian runner, and he was all jacked, and he came out of nowhere and was like the greatest runner in the world. And supposedly they went back 15, 20 years later and retested the samples, and every single person in the field, including Carl Lewis.
Who is American hero.
Ben Johnson just got caught.
Yep.
Yeah, so that tells me that everybody's doing it, and when you see... because you always think, what would be the most incredible if you just gave them all the juice? I think we've said that, and just let them go. They'd kill, they'd punch each other's heads off. No, it would be like Hearns and Hagler. That would be what it would be like. Those dudes got fucking jacked. They got weirdly looking jacked, and they had astronomical speed and power and cardio that... I mean, who's had a fight like that?
There's some Dutch guys that are like that.
I watched that fight this morning, by the way.
There's some Dutch guys, like Overeem used to be. Like, there's some guys in Glory and some K1 dudes that are that same.
Yeah, okay.
How the hell do you exist like that? And they take those shots, and they're also jacked out of their mind.
I mean, who did Trevor Berbick? I saw Trevor Berbick win the championship this morning. And Berbick, when he lost to Tyson, looked like he'd aged fucking 20 years. It wasn't 20 years ago, but what Berbick looked like when he won the title to when he lost it against Tyson, Berbick looked fat, soft. And when Berbick won, I never saw Berbick win the title. I only knew Berbick as the guy that got beat by Tyson. Yes. I didn't see his rise to fame, so I watched it this morning. Dude was a fucking tower of a man with just crazy lats and abs shredded, and then when he fought Tyson, he had a belly, man.
Vitor's the best example of ever. There's never going to be a better example of on drugs, not on drugs than Vitor Belfort. Well,
you got three versions of him. You got on steroids, when he had the crazy lats and he ran through the Axe Murderer in the first UFC, where he had the ridiculous lats. Yeah. Like they were hitting him in the ear.
It looked like the Wolverine from a comic book.
Right, he was
beating the shit out of Vanderlei Silva.
Yeah. That was a guy on steroids, for sure. Then there was everyone's trying to get faster, trying to go down weight, so he got lean, but then he got old. So then he got on the
hormone
TRT, the TRT. So then that's the next one, because I feel like everyone's puts the TRT guy against the guy now, and I'm like, man, the guy now has been on been playing with steroids allegedly for the last 20 years, and now he's in his 40s. The fuck do you think you would look like, dude, if you'd ran like your body is giving it everything it's got? But yeah, sorry, man. At 46, I have no abs anymore because I've tapped my body of every resource.
He kind of like Bigfoot Silva falls into the category of people you might want to make exemptions for, because Bigfoot Silva has a legitimate disorder that he needs hormone replacement, and they don't allow him to take it because he'll it's a performance enhancing drug. So he's just dealing with having
gigantism?
hormonal dysfunction, you know, and so he by being born with what he was born with, that's why he has that kind of weird looking head and the whole thing and the strange physique.
I never noticed.
He need for medical reasons needs hormone therapy, but they can't take it, so now he's just kind of like, well, there's my career.
Wait.
I will say once again, the UFC is having and will probably always have trouble penetrating the Russian market because they don't want to be in bed with the slimy elements you need to be in bed with to do business in Russia. Why the fuck is there not an RFC where Vladimir Putin just stands in the ring at the beginning like Bruce Buffer and he goes, "You pussies don't even want to see what it looks like when real men push themselves to the real limits, and no fucking drugs barred, Russian fighting championship, and fucking sell it on pay-per-view over here, build some stars."
There is. I don't know if you're right. It's not marketed, but there is. There's those. I mean, like Khabib Nurmagomedov's little brother fights in it, and it just looks like bears fighting each other.
Man, but they're not. It's not. You that's that thing where you think that we're not all using it. Like they're not that much, but they're actually not better because they might be they might be on a little more juice, so they might have like a little more brute bear strength, but everybody in America is using just as much shit, just different kinds of shit, with a little bit more advanced technique recovery thing or something. Because it's like, that guy's juicing his ass off. Maybe not right now, but I'm sure that guy put a bunch of shit in his body to like recover from using it. I've seen photos of him. He was a fucking bear as well. Everyone's seen photos of that dude where he was just like two humans bigger.
Japan too. I mean, there's fighting leagues in Japan where it looks like two bodybuilders are fighting each other. And you're like, Jesus, what the fuck? And then guys who are in the waning years of their career in the UFC, they'll go over to Ryzen in Japan, and you're like, oh, well, that person gained 24 pounds of instant muscle.
No, the greatest one ever is Crow Cop before Crow Cop in the UFC. Now he's back in fucking Ryzen or whatever, and he's shredded again.
He's going back to Bellator.
Well, he's gonna look like shit.
Yeah.
But he was in a fight against King Mo Lawal where I saw photos.
Shredded,
moving. And he looked gigantic.
And all graceful and young looking. Yeah.
This is after his UFC career where he was knocked out several times. We're talking about a fight, King Mo, where he looked great.
And why not? We're comfortable with these guys taking one set of humongous risks with their life and long-term health. So why are we so discriminatory towards this other set of risks they could also be taking?
What I don't understand is where do you draw the line? Okay, so
nowhere.
Creatine's okay, but something a little bit more effective that is naturally in your body, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's such a weird nebulous thing. Like we decide this drug, which you're enhancing your performance with, is fine. Caffeine is fine, enhances your performance greatly, but we draw the line at another stimulant. It's a whole.
I always thought that the line was essentially supposed to be things that we can have a reasonable assumption that they might be very harmful for you. Mm. Those are the things you can drink. You can drink a pot of coffee and go out and fight somebody, and who gives a shit?
Yeah, but man, didn't like Kevin Randleman die, and people said that he did a lot of steroids? Or didn't he like have a professional career up until the day he died? Like nobody banned him for life for being a steroid abuser.
No,
he just had a career.
He was jacked out of his mind. You ever see?
I never met that guy, but the word was that he died very young because of how many steroids he used.
He died in his 40s.
Yeah,
yeah. But
I'm just talking about the things that you can openly say. Yes, this is what I do. I drink. You know, baseball had amphetamines for forever. It's really, really hard to get up for 162 4-hour fucking games per year where you're basically standing around 99% of the time. So they finally got rid of greenies, amphetamines, and so everybody just started pounding fucking lattes and Monster Energy. It's not as good. They'd rather be on amphetamines, but I guess we've just decided you can just drink a ton of Monster and that's okay.
You ever see Kevin Randleman's staph infection?
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
That doesn't make sense, right?
It makes me feel happy for any infection I've ever had.
I just don't understand why you didn't go to the hospital sooner.
Right.
Like, what was the day where you were like, if I put a little more antiseptic cream on it, maybe it'll go away. But it's just like...
That's what he looks like inside.
Looks like he got shot by a shotgun.
Yeah, it was... I don't even... I mean, that might have had something to do with him dying too. Just because of... His whole body looks like it's dead.
Because your lungs aren't supposed to make contact with the oxygen
No, the outside world.
directly.
I think a lot of look. I'm not going to sit here and say, "Hey, steroids are good for you. It doesn't affect your lifespan." But I think when you're dying at 40 something, a lot of that is genetic. There must have been you were dealt a bad hand of cards. You know, like
And then you took a bunch of steroids.
yeah. I mean, there's probably things that you could accelerate the process, but plenty of people use. I mean, look at Arnold. Someone who's never shied away from admitting, pretty heavy steroid use. I don't know if it compares to bodybuilders today. Probably not. But
he doesn't do any of that now, though, right?
I would imagine he uses some type of hormone replacement therapy.
Right.
But I don't think he's like abusing steroids or anything.
Yeah, I think he must just be doing some sort of maintenance thing. Yeah. Just the fact that he pedals everywhere, I would assume that his knees would be shot from carrying him around.
I mean, he wasn't a runner.
No, but he's these guys are not getting to the. I think Arnold
he does waddle a bit.
Arnold
right?
would show up at contests, 230, 240, which is huge for for a human being. But professional bodybuilders now are 270, and they're in the off season. They're 330. I mean, this is.
But that means they're doing more stuff, right?
Oh yeah. But professional bodybuilders now are. There's a fun little game you can play at Gold's Gym in Venice Beach. There's the whole gym is covered in pictures of famous bodybuilders.
Yeah.
And it's like, who's still alive? And you just look at different 35-year-olds that are all dead.
35-year-olds?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, it's that bad. 35-year-olds, sometimes late 20s, sometimes, a lot of times early 40s.
So does that mean when they're getting super big, they're starting to feel like lethargic and shit?
Dude, I know guys that they devote their life to training and get absolutely gassed to the point they can't even breathe when they walk up a flight of stairs.
But they're just as muscly as
they're just jacked, shredded. You can't believe how muscular a human can be. But your internal organs, they're not designed for that, man. Same with people who are 7'8". You don't see a lot of them like as grandpas.
Yeah.
It's not the body's not really designed for that.
Yeah. Larry Bird was openly talking about being scared of dying just because he's like 6'9", and just look at the stats of life expectancy of super long. I mean, like Andrew's dead. Look.
Yeah. 30-year run.
That's all it takes. A little too tall. Next thing you know, fired and dead.
Both. Same day.
Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hey, what I want to say is I did a lot of studying about this. I was a weightlifter back in the day, but Lance Armstrong, I studied him. It's not about the guy taking the drug. It's about the kid coming in to the sport who has to take a drug, who may not want to, but in order to compete on any level, has to take drugs. That's what I think is wrong.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, but
like with any drug, any substance you put in your body that elicits a chemical response, it's one thing for a 28-year-old to take it. It's a whole different ballgame for a 16, 17-year-old to take it. And that's a really, really good point. The game is completely changed when...
But isn't that why all steroids are banned in sports? Not because the athlete's pain, is it not just because it's bad influence? Like kids are going to start doing it?
Yeah, I mean, maybe, at least if it's not, that's why they're banned. That's why it's not openly discussed like it is in, say, bodybuilding. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can all kind of collectively agree. You watch the NFL any given Sunday, people are not supposed to be 250 jacked and running a 4.340. Okay, the human body, I don't care how hard, how gifted you are, shit doesn't work out that way. There's got to be something going on there. But I don't think there's an open kind of conversation about it, because then it would be almost just like opening the floodgates to every high school football player.
Yeah. I mean, you're all smashing each other in the head, too. It's kind of a bad thing the whole thing.
It's a bad thing in the first place, but I think from what I know, which is probably nothing yet, is objectively worse for people who haven't finished growing to take steroids than people who have. Same thing as smoking. Smoking cigarettes is bad for you at any age. Smoking cigarettes is really bad for you if you do it heavily when you're 13.
Weed, I mean, they're starting to show all the great benefits, or at least how innocuous it can be for a growing.
What does innocuous mean?
Meaning harmless.
Okay.
It really isn't, unless you're smoking insane amounts. Weed, probably isn't something that should be considered a narcotic for a grown adult. It actually does have pretty profound effects on, the growing mind, the undeveloped mind. So.
Yeah, I could see that.
Pretty awesome.
Makes it cool.
The what's the show? What are the guys that eat all the starfish? Lee and Joey Diaz.
Oh, Church of What's Happening?
Yeah, the Church of What's Happening. I've watched that a couple times now. There's another level of weed consuming going on on the planet. I had no idea.
Nowadays, especially with the science behind it,
I didn't know.
The edibles and
these
the
guys
strands.
These guys are pretty much eating shrooms on the radio.
Nice.
And Lee is like literally half the size of Joey, is he not?
I mean, I don't know about that. He might be short, but he's pretty wide.
Yeah. I guess
But
it evens out.
But they're talking about. I don't even believe him. He was trying to say something about in the thousands of milligrams, and I'm like, 200 milligrams starfish. That's what I heard, and I was like, okay, that sounds like a lot. But then he was trying to tell me the other day 2,000. I'm like, 2,000? Because I talked to this other guy the other day about there's weed, like cough medicine.
Yeah.
But it's obviously THC. So what is it, like lean? Fucking do shit. Yeah, but it's THC. So a bottle of it is like, I think he said it was like 900 milligrams. And you pour a little in, or you put it in with your soda. You don't fucking drink the whole bottle.
Right.
And then this Lee dude's trying to say that him and Joey Diaz are eating 2,000 milligram pieces of candy. And I'm not saying they're lying. I just don't. I'm missing a window. Somebody went from 200 to 2,000, and I didn't know you could do that.
I do know that there's a long list of normal weed smokers who have gone in to visit Joey Diaz who have not left normal.
Dude, the
and
one
just in front of them.
I played it in front of my wife. I found it, and then I played it for my wife. I don't know who she is. Some blonde-haired comedian girl. I don't know her, but I know enough to know that whatever they did to her changed her face, and then she could no longer talk, and he asked her if she wanted to lie down, and then she did, and that was the fucking show. Like, he knocked her out and put her on a fucking bed and opened a window, and that's it. And him and Lee are just like, and I'm like, what am I doing over here? You know what I mean? Like, I'm making effort. You just eat a bunch of starfish. What, Tully? What? I'm gonna go lie down. But I don't watch the whole thing, but it was very funny. I finally understood like what the thing is.
And for anything extreme appeals to the other people who are into that extreme world. It's just like I would watch, some training documentary about a pro bodybuilder now, and I would think to myself, what the fuck? I mean, that's just 1,000 milligrams or I use of GH every day. That seems... But there's definitely people who are out there that are going, okay, yeah, I'm into this. And I would imagine the same thing is with weed. Like, the normal people are like, well, that seems insane. But there's going to be those
Cool
people
Beans,
who are,
you're that guy, right?
I'm a one-hit wonder, which I'm
But you,
accepting more and more with each passing day.
but you like his show. You like watching them do that shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're getting to a point. Like, remember when it first clicked in your head? Like, everybody has that argument. Oh man, it grows from the ground. It's natural. How could it be illegal? I feel like everybody's heard that fact before. Where like, it's impossible to overdose on pot. You'd have to smoke like a ton of weed in a 15-minute period. Some crazy shit like that. But as we're getting further with 2,000 milligram starfish and fake bottles of weed cocaine.
Yeah, I can take.
If you were starving, like really, really hungry, and you just had a mountain of those 1,000.
Yeah, because he's got him in. I saw a video of where he had a bag of them like they were a fucking bag of candies. He had like 50 of them in there, and he was like throwing them in his mouth on the show.
But couldn't
Are
you...
we gonna reach the point where somebody actually does die?
Right? It would
I don't know
have.
if you could. I don't know if...
Does it just make you go to sleep?
Because I think
maybe?
you'd eventually pass out.
Man,
But
here's a-
I don't think you can have what Dr. Drew describes as a toxic response, which is what ODing is.
Well, but
Right away if you eat it.
yeah, but yeah, that's the
Get a
thing.
handful of them.
I think eating is the way to do it, because smoking used to always, when we had shitty weed back in the day, kept you from getting too high. It took you a while to smoke it. It's
Right.
like why it's impossible to like eat yourself to death, because it takes a while to eat food, But yeah, if you set out to get the strongest weed candies imaginable, and you were chasing it with the strongest weed drink imaginable, and you just fucking Kobayashi'd it
Right.
until your body wouldn't take anymore, I'm not surprised if you die.
Yeah, or at least maybe you just vomit it all out and pass out or
Right.
something. But I noticed I got this painting on my wall that this German artist did that knows my landlord, and it's to like help some charity organization. So I was like, yeah, cool, man, come over. And then they told me, they're like, I hope you don't. I mean, the only problem with him is he might be out there smoking a spliff or something. And I was like, that's cool, man, I don't mind that. So when they started, there was like 4 German dudes in my backyard. So they were like, you guys want a drink or something? We'd love some coffee. So I got him a big pot of caveman coffee and a fucking big joint. I was like, off you go. I know I'm not going to see you guys. I'm going to go to work.
Yeah.
I'll see you. I'll probably see you like 3 times and that'll be it. And I was right. But at the last day when they were done, I was like, well, man, this is awesome, man. And, we talked a little bit and he was like, it'd be real cool. And I'm like, what's that? And he's like, if you hook us up with one more of those joints. And I'm like, oh, yeah? He's like, yeah, my buddy had to get a ride home. Like, he couldn't drive. And then they kind of told me the story about how I guess they got off the plane and, like, went to my house. And I gave them that joint. Like, they literally got off the plane from Germany and was like, we're painting a tiger. And I gave them that thing and then they were all talking about it, and these dudes were playing like weird German hip hop all for 3 days straight. They were fucking smoking spliffs and drinking beer. Like, they weren't strangers to the world of marijuana. Right. And they were talking about how that knocked them out. And then I told them there's like the stores, and they have the joints. This thing called a tarantula, where they have, it's got like hash in it or something, and a bunch of weed, and then what is it? THC crystals. What's it called? What's the powder stuff called? Keef? Yeah, keef. It's like dipped in keef or something. So the whole thing on the outside is fluffy like a tarantula. So Katie's like, I've got one. And I was like, show it to him. Next thing you know, they're taking photos next to it like it's a fucking selfie wall. You know what I mean? And I'm watching these guys who are full on. They're as old as me. They've seen all the shit there is. This dude's an artist. He flies around the world doing this shit. And he's like, legal. This is legal. Like, because it's such a big deal in California. And then I was like, you guys can have it if you want. They're like, oh, cool. And then 15 minutes later, I watched 4 German dudes no longer be able to speak English to me. It was just so fucking funny every time they... because they were talking to me. They wanted to talk to me.
Couldn't pull it
and
off,
then once that thing was half done, I was watching their faces melt. And then I'm realizing... These dudes are German, man. Like, this whole week, they've been speaking someone else's language. And it was very apparent when they were halfway down a tarantula. They were just like, what are you saying? And I'm like, ha, 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 you guys are fucked. I was like, see you, dude. And like, they were literally getting on a plane again to go back to Germany. I was like, bye. And they didn't know about dabs. They didn't know about diamonds. Because there's this whole new thing. There's like diamonds now. You know what that is?
Each other.
Do you know what that diamond is?
No.
It's pure THC,
Oh,
and
good
it
times.
looks like a piece of glass.
Oh, like, yeah, it looks like, like meth almost.
Hey.
Looks
That's the end of that.
Some of it looks a lot like crystal meth.
Yeah, but it doesn't do that.
No. But I'd be scared to get pulled over with that because it looks so much like it. Especially if you had it in a baggie.
Yeah, but if he smelled it, he would know.
I wouldn't even think about that. I keep on waiting to get pulled over. I have so many drugs in my car that are
Oh, Michael, stop bragging.
the most harmless. No, but it's
I
funny
keep telling Michael one of these days he's going to get so booked for all the drugs he has in his car. But he won't listen to me.
I have all of these pills in a thing, and they're I have famotidine for heartburn. I have headache pills. I started traveling with melatonin.
Nice.
So if I go out and do stand-up and it's kind of late, like I don't want to stay up all night, so I take it in the car on the way home so I can go to bed when I get
Not
there.
a bad idea.
It's not.
Solid.
It's well, you have the same problem enough times. You finally start to think of solutions. But I have this little jar and it has all these random pills. And who the fuck would travel with that many random pills?
Oh,
where
okay.
None of them are illegal.
Oh, okay. You'd think at least one of them is a fun one.
It's got to be something.
Yeah,
I
no, I get that.
I used to kind of enjoy getting harassed at the DUI checkpoints, when I knew I hadn't had a drink in decade, close to over a decade. And they'd be like, can you step out of the car, sir? Can we? And I'd be like, okay, here we go.
No,
I'm ready to skip on that line.
I'm sorry, the only time I ever went through a DMV checkpoint in my entire life is the only time in my entire life I ever took a sip of a drink behind the wheel.
But it was not a lot.
It wasn't a lot,
Yeah.
but they just waved me through. I
Yeah.
had just taken a drink while I was driving. I was at Hollywood Forever Cemetery. It was Halloween, and somebody had made some concoction that they were all passing around, which I didn't have because I was driving. And when I got in the car, they're like, "This is actually pretty good. You should taste this." And I'm like, fuck it. What do I care? One sip.
Yeah.
Fucking DUI to checkpoint.
But you didn't get it.
No, I didn't. I just get minor traffic infractions.
Do you really?
Yeah, I'm fighting one right now, constantly in court.
You fight a lot of traffic.
You know
Well,
why?
no, bullshit.
You live in Culver, right?
That's exactly every single
Totally
one is
why.
Culver City. Yep, that's why.
Totally
that's
why. Fuck.
Why? What is that?
It's the traffic laws and the traffic cameras and all the bullshit specifically of Culver City, not like LA County. Or it's like this one bastion in the whole country where they just still get away with completely raping the driver, the harmless, innocent driver.
They just make and parking is. I posted a thing one time on my Instagram of it looked like something in Midtown Manhattan of here's all the traffic signs, the rules. We can park here on Tuesday, but if it's this other Tuesday, then you can't do that. But if it's 15 minutes, but you have this permit. But if you have that permit, then this permit cancels out that permit. And it's just like, just give me the fucking ticket. I don't have time to read this.
Yeah.
Just say you can't park here. So
Wow.
yeah, it's because they're constantly, and I don't want my insurance to go up because of these dumb moving violations. And every time I did stand up this past weekend, drove all the way to San Diego, all the way to Santa Barbara the next night. How many people do I see weaving in and out of traffic, not getting pulled over?
Yeah.
I'm the guy whose insurance is going up because I failed to come to a complete stop while making a right on red.
Ooh. It's touchy nerve.
It
At
is.
probably like 1 in the morning or something, you know.
Oh no, it was
nobody's.
rush hour. I had children in the car.
See, I used to come home from Loveline. It was 12:30 at night, 1 in the morning, and
Yeah.
there'd be no one on the streets, and I get
Except, yeah.
a photo, traffic photo ticket for, like Tully said, not running a red light. I'd deal with that. Making a right on red.
Red light camera, that went back into play, right?
Yeah, and then everybody says you don't have to pay them because
It's not true.
It's not true.
I just don't know why you would run it anymore. It's like a young boy's move. You know?
It is.
It's like, one, you might not make it through there and you get a photo. Then there's the option of running into another person and exploding to your doom.
And
Both
those.
those I'd rather be late for.
Oh yeah. Running red lights is ridiculous.
Right? I do orange all the time, but I don't, you know what I mean? I do legal orange. Like if a cop will pull me over, I would use, as Everlast, I would use my white privilege to argue it.
Well, I fight every single ticket. I was thinking about that. How many people wouldn't feel as comfortable as I do being like, the cop said I didn't stop at a stop sign. Yes, I did.
But did you?
Okay, you tell me what you think the case is. So I came to an intersection. It's like a T, and I'm coming from one end of the top of the T, and the cop's coming from the other end of the top of the T. All right, and he makes the stop before I make the stop. So I'm eye to eye with a policeman in a police cruiser who has stopped at a stoplight. Fuck yeah, I came to a complete stop on my side of the street. Then I make the right, he makes the left. Now we're both driving down the bottom of the T. He throws his light on. And I'm like, what the fuck could I possibly have done? Do I have a taillight out or something? In pulling over, I choked. I panicked. I drove through a stop sign getting pulled over to pull my car over. And the guy goes, you ran that stop sign. And I said, there is no fucking way on earth. I was looking at you. I did not run that stop sign. And he goes, well, you ran this one.
And he didn't ever give any explanation why he initially...
He said, this is a school. I was like, I'm bringing my kid his lunch. I know it's a fucking school. It's what I'm doing here.
Oh, man.
So he's going to have to fucking... I mean, it's his word against mine, but I'm not going to raise my insurance without me getting my day in court.
Man, raise insurance. It's tough. Police officer can do so much damage if he's having a bad day.
Or if he needs to fill some weird ticket writing quota.
Yeah, or if Culver City needs to keep on constantly making income out of pulling people over, which is fine. Just dump it down to a non-moving violation. I'll pay your bullshit ticket.
Yeah.
Just don't raise my insurance.
Dang.
And you need 2 of those. Can't I just go to traffic school? No, because this is not the first time something like this has happened in Culver City.
You know, I was thinking, we're talking about authorities and tickets. It's funny, I'm doing a video thing today after the show to try and make up a video to promote Love and H going live on Monday. So
Nice.
I told Ann to do some shit, you know what I mean, and I'll edit it in a video. And then I've got those Coleman Power Sport. There's like a 2-seater buggy. It's like a little buggy. It's not very fast, but it's 2-seater. Me and Ann have been in it up in the Hollywood Hills. And I was like, I was thinking about putting a bunch of GoPros on it and driving around interviewing people just around the streets where I live up in the hills because there's no cops there. It's just pretty mellow, and it's not a very loud buggy.
Sure.
But then I was like, what about if I just drove it to work with all the GoPros on it and interviewed Anne, and then obviously plan for worst case scenario. What is the charges of if I have a bunch of GoPros and I'm filming Anne and we're driving? There's seatbelts in it. I know it's not registered. It's an unregistered vehicle. What is the? I mean, is it jail? Do I lose my driver's license, or is it a fine?
I don't know. Why is it illegal? Because like in certain cities here in Southern California, not in like inside gated retirement homes, people drive golf carts all the time.
Yeah, but you can get golf carts registered.
And you always know when you're in golf cart town and not in golf cart town. And
Right.
You never see a golf cart outside a golf
That's
cart
not
town.
true. I have seen one, but they had registered it. Somehow they got
But
they put
those don't
seatbelts in it and
do
they
they?
made it a fucking car
It's a
somehow.
private street, so they can do anything they want to on a public street. You can't.
What's the penalty, officer?
Yeah. Thank you. Is there any officers listening that could tell me what they would do if they pulled me and Ann H over in a motorized buggy with no license plates?
You wouldn't be the first entertainers to purposely get arrested.
Yeah,
to
but they get
some
perm.
publicity,
Oh, really?
in my opinion.
Well, I don't. But you're talking about.
I feel like some metal bands I used to
Shit
follow
on
back
myself
in the
again.
day. I remember the singer of some band just got naked and went roller skating and got arrested, and it was like a thing that they talked about. And I was like, nobody was really talking about his band. That
What was the
cheap
spinning?
publicity.
What was the glammy metal band Spinning Wheel? They did Spinning Wheel. Was it Love Hate?
Spinning? Are you thinking of Swinging Thing?
No, there was their big hit was Spinning Wheel.
Never heard of that.
It was a good song, but they weren't huge. But he
Down that one. What goes up must come down.
I hate that song.
no.
The
This
70s?
this was a '80s glammy metal band.
Say Love Hate. Love Hate's a real band.
Yeah, I think it was Love Hate, and the lead singer of that band,
Jizzy Pearl.
he tied himself
His
up.
name
to
is Jizzy.
Jizzy Pearl.
Wow.
He tied himself to
He's
the
usually
Hollywood
the lead
sign.
singer of the band that we play with at Ellis Mania. The Sin City.
Oh,
Fighters.
yeah.
He's usually their lead singer.
Far out.
Last time we were there, he was off touring with somebody big. I forget, but yeah, he's a real dude.
Holy
Love
shit.
Hate, their song Spinning Wheel was a jam. But anyway, he tied himself to the Hollywood sign and on purpose, and just got it. There was news helicopters and police helicopters, and it was a big thing. But he totally did that too.
Yeah, but he probably had to pay a bunch of money too. I'm not paying any of that shit. I don't want to get tied up. I don't want to do it for that. I want to drive down here in the buggy. If I feel like if I side street it, I might just get away with it. I mean, every time I drive down here, I
What
don't
if
see
you
any
rented
cops.
one of those three-wheeled? That's a total legal thing, and put GoPros on that, and you and Ann, like one of those deer dick things.
Yeah, I mean, it's gay.
Yeah, I mean they
well,
suck, but
These are two separate
Sorry.
issues. I like your odds of getting here okay. Without
Right.
getting pulled over. The question is what happens if you do get
Yeah, because I have to prepare for that because
Yes,
I'm an
yes, you
adult
do.
I'm not going to jail and miss the show.
Up in the Hollywood
because,
Hills,
no,
though.
trust me, it's gonna be funny.
up in the hills it's Wild West.
Yeah, but I think in the hills it doesn't give off anywhere near what it would give off if we were at a light. I mean, if I drive down my street to Sunset, we will be on the corner of Sunset, and I don't want to say the street, and it's a very busy intersection,
How fast do those go?
like 45 or
Oh,
something.
you can make it to work.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? You probably wouldn't even beep your horn at us. You would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I guess it might be about the same size. Nah, maybe a little smaller than, those real little itty bitty cars that people drive, the Fiat things.
Yes, I do.
It's like smaller than that. And the other thing is it's just a frame around it, so you would completely know that that's Anne H. babbling in the passenger seat with a dickhead with a wolf tattoo.
There's a caller who claims to have some insight. I don't know if they're an officer of the law or not.
Okay. Go ahead, Anthony.
I'm not an officer at all. I'm just an ex-con. But, bro, it's the worst case scenario if you're not registered. Worst case scenario, they'll impound your vehicle and write you a ticket for no registration.
Thanks, Anthony. I trust you.
Drove cars and stuff with no registration, and all they do is write you a ticket and impound it.
Well, wait.
Ann Hayes, if it's you and Ann Hayes, I'm willing to bet the cops will be like, what the hell are y'all doing? Get off the road, please.
Do you think it makes any difference if it's a car that is not... Because you can't just register anything.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Oh wait, no, the dude from Coleman told me that you could register their bikes, but you have to put all this stuff on it to make it registered.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is it a car that would be street legal if it were registered or not? That seems like that would be a different situation.
Even if you're riding four-wheeler, an illegal four-wheelers aren't street legal and whatnot. If you get busted riding a four-wheeler, the worst case scenario is you're going to impound the four-wheeler and write you a ticket.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, there is no jail time for that. Worst case scenario, they're going to impound you.
Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate it, man. Thanks. Because that's the one that makes sense. All the guys, the 12 o'clock boys and shit, those guys that do wheelies and on the Banshees and stuff, every now and then I see those videos. They get caught. Like, you know, I don't want to, I'm not going to have a felony, you know what I mean? Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
But I would do it. I would gladly do it. And then the other thing I thought was, Katie could drive the truck behind us, like, in case, you know what I mean, we did get pulled over and they're like, we'll fucking impound it, or, you know what I mean, I'm like, can I put it back on the truck? And they're like, yes, you can put it back on the truck. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you may as well do that. By the by...
And I thought it'd be a good camera angle, too, if somebody else can drive by.
Yeah, absolutely.
And prove how dumb we are.
Yeah. Speed limits have been slowly creeping up in many states across America.
Cool. Kind of.
So I didn't know this, but I thought that they just have been getting higher and higher as cars have handled speed better and better. I guess there was a time when like 75 wasn't all that unheard of, and the nationwide 55 thing started because I think it was during the oil crisis. It was more about gas conservation than it was about safety, believe it or not. But then they found out that when people drove slower, there were less fatalities. So then I think it kind of caught on. But there have always been a couple states that played a little looser with it. I know Montana famously, when I went through there in the mid-90s, had just instituted a daytime speed limit. There had been a thing where there was no speed limit during the day, and then it was like 70 at night or something. And I'd heard then that they had to get rid of that because people would drive really fucking fast at dusk, so they didn't have to deal with it. Yeah, you can see how that goes. But there are places in Nebraska where the maximum speed limit is now 80. There are places in Texas with a speed limit of 85, and they're not noticing any more people dying as a result of it.
Autobahn. Just saying.
What is the safety numbers, the statistics for the Autobahn? Because it's
good.
Pretty crazy.
It's
pretty
good.
Crazy.
I mean, I'm making that up completely, Mike
I
Catherwood,
think
but it's good.
I think everybody's just fine, to answer your question.
Unscathed. 100% no deaths every year.
A lot of leather and shiza, but no death.
Man, people drive the Autobahn with gloves and helmets on.
Oh, yeah.
It's the coolest. Man, I spent hours at a gas station once just watching Maniacs.
If you're a wealthy American or like a British car guy, that's your jam. Let's go to Germany, get us some Porsche or Beamer and just let it loose.
Here's the reason why I might not be doing that buggy thing. Tony, welcome to the show.
What if the cop's having a bad day and he starts handing out tickets for no insurance, no registration, no rearview mirrors? How much money is tickets is that going to be?
Right.
Yeah, that'd be shit.
That is what I'm talking about.
If he's having a bad day, he's going to start handing out tickets.
Can you have a bad day if Ann is there?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you think most police officers are familiar with Anne Heche and her work? You know,
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about being in the presence of Anne Heche. It's bound to put a smile on your face.
she's delightful.
I mean, you're either throwing her to the ground and arresting her immediately, or you're seeing the funny side of it.
I would think it's more about what kind of day is Anne Heche having, more so than what kind of day is.
Oh, no, she never... No, it's always good.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's never aggressive. It's not...
I could see her being the type of person, though, to have the...
Nope.
No, I'm not saying get out and fight the cop. I'm just saying that one of those conversations that I know for a fact from my cop friends and family members is wildly annoying to cops, that gets you in even more trouble oftentimes than being aggressive, is the, but why are you doing this? Give me an explanation.
No,
give me an explanation.
No, she wouldn't do that. Especially if we were in a Coleman's Power Sports uninsured registered vehicle.
Yeah, there's no question as to why they're doing this.
Yeah, we know we're in the wrong. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
That's true.
Both of us are not going with the, what are you talking about?
You're driving a frame.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to frame dirt buggy.
And there's no, do you know who I am? Because what you're in
Yeah, you-
outweighs anybody's.
If
who
she
they are.
says, "Do you know who I am?" I'll arrest her.
Is there people in Hollywood that can get away with it? That can drive the Coleman buggy?
Tom Cruise,
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
John,
Certainly Nicholson.
Elton John.
Even those guys, they'll get a warning once or twice. If the same cop gets them, or if word starts spreading that warnings have been issued, they'll eventually shut down Jack Nicholson driving to a Lakers game.
I think Elton John could drive the Coleman Power Sports buggy to the record store that is no longer the record store on
Tower.
Sunset Tower Records, and demand that they open it and sell him a record.
One of his own.
Yeah. I mean, it might
Standing outside,
it might
goodbye, Tower Records.
it might take a while, but eventually somebody in there will go. You know, the guy that owned it died the other day.
Shout out to
Mr. Tower.
the rich man Sam Goody.
Nah, it wasn't. Oh, you fucking asshole. It wasn't. I forgot the guy's name.
No, but you're right.
Big nose guy.
He was a big deal too. I mean, people were.
He seemed like a really nice guy.
People were bumming out.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll be back.
I don't know if anybody had any affinity for Tower. I know that Tower, people like
Well, it
just
wasn't.
where
It was him because I watched the documentary
Yeah.
and it was like corporate tower, and then there was
His-
the one guy that was like at the Rainbow all the time. That was
Okay,
like,
yeah, that's-
hey, and
that's-
everybody loved him.
No, that's fine. Right.
You want the pink taco, Betsy?
Uh-huh.
Oh shit!
Oh, yeah. Tear it up. Taking off drugs. And drink.
I got hammered the other day about going to the pink taco, and I just said okay. But in the middle of me saying okay, there was somebody saying a lot about how I should go there. I was like, just give me a sec. I said okay. Like they thought that they were gonna have to work on me
Oh,
for me to
gotcha.
say that I would be interested in going.
Yeah, I already confirmed with Jen, like maybe last week or something like that. So
Right.
yeah, I was planning on going.
I can't remember who I said okay to, but it was. I'm going, sure.
Well, it's funny, there was
So
like
how you
another
doing?
little mini meetup
You
in
gave me the breakdown
Boston
physically.
yesterday, too.
How you're doing? How's the
Meeting up everywhere.
emotional health?
Want to take that one, Will? I'll buy you a Coke. Don't I owe you a
I'm
Coke
alright.
the other day?
Good. It's good to hear, man.
Yeah, I believe it'll all
Your kids hate tacos?
sort itself out. Always does.
You look better than last 2 weeks ago when I was there. No, I don't mean physically. I mean like you just. Me and my wife comment. I put up a Instagram story, and my wife's like, "Is something wrong with Jason?" I was like,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, all super fat, super. My stomach was super swollen from that freaking prostate infection, man. And then the antibiotics just made me feel sick and made my fucking. I just looked like shit. Didn't sleep good because they were like hurting me. And now I have this weird.
Did you ever stay in town?
I don't have it right now, and I don't even care to analyze it. But like yesterday, dude, I had a fucking hoodie on, and I was freezing. And everybody else in here has got a t-shirt on because I'm making them fucking deal with this temperature thing that I'm going through. And then I walk out there, and they've got it a little bit colder, and I'll get in my car yesterday, dude, shaking, turning the heaters on.
That's crazy.
And then I get back to the house, and Katie's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Are you fucking wet again?" And then because of the heater in the car, I sweat through my t-shirt, through my hoodie, because I've got the heater on the seat in my car.
Yeah.
So it's like this. I think I'm cold, and then my body, that's right, I forgot. My boxer shorts were sweated out when I got home last night. Like the front of
That's intense sweat. That's like training sweat.
I didn't work out.
Yeah.
I just got cold and nervous. So, but my back, I touched my toes again. So I was gonna work out this morning, but I was like, I'll wait one more day.
Like just conditioning or go train like some type of martial art.
Yeah, that's just condition. Maybe get Eddie over, hit some pads. And then, really training is, I'm not training until I go to Saxon's, and I just haven't even come close to it.
Yeah.
I see their videos, and I'm like, ugh. Like, I had a fucking, my tattoo's not done. I had a tattoo up, I can't get a tattoo. because I feel something feels weird, and I don't want a needle on me. It feels like that would be something that I would really not be into right
It's an
now.
open wound, you know?
Something's happened to me, though, you know, because I don't have... My tattoo's all healed. I just wanted to get finished now, and I'm like... clam hands. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to sit there for fucking 4 hours and let you tattoo my stomach.
I base this on nothing. I have no like scientific evidence, but I don't think antibiotics. I mean, and very specific needs. If you have an actual infection, obviously they're life-saving, but I just think that they're really bad for you, man.
Yeah. And then that, I think maybe my doctor that gives me the depressants and the sleeping pills fucked up my prescription and gave me more of something that I have weaned myself off. Because gabapentin, I think I got down to like 200 milligrams, and then because my proper doctor was like, you're not taking that shit all the time anymore, right? I'm like, no, he's like, he used to take like 600 milligrams, and I'm like, yeah, I don't do that anymore. And then when I got home, I looked at the jar, and they're 6.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, did my doctor put me back up without me knowing? So then I started taking half of that the last 2 days. Maybe it's that, but I don't know, dude.
Do you want to bang out that live read coming back?
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned yesterday you wanted to just try and riff.
Yeah,
for
that's
decent
right.
amount.
We didn't do any of the headlines that I have, and we didn't talk about the UFC card, so why don't we just do that? I still feel like it's as good a time as any to do Does Ann like it, just because you want to promote the thing on Monday.
Yeah, let's do that.
So do you want to do the bit, and then we'll do that this hour, and then we'll do more headlines and shit in the last hour?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. What do you guys, or I guess this is more for Mike, what do you do if somebody sends you nudes? How do you respond?
Thank you for that. You know, or
Yeah.
great work. I'll say
sure,
sometimes I'll do
that's
like
fine.
comedy answers. I'll be like, great work there.
Yeah. Because it's like I don't want to lead you on in any way,
Right.
but I want you to send more.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I got to be fully honest. Very rarely is it someone that I want to send more. Occasionally, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see what we're doing
I'm
here.
pretty good. I don't get a lot, but I get good ones.
I get a lot of men.
Oh, do you?
A lot.
You get a lot of what?
Men sending
Doing
me
what?
sexy stuff or nudes or...
Wait, I missed the first half of this
People
conversation.
sending nudes.
Oh.
That chick at the Santa Barbara show was cute. There was a time.
Yes.
Her friend, I was like, her friend wasn't even nearly as attractive,
No.
and I was like, oh, man, there was a time where the
If
four of us would be getting out of here.
if you and I were in a time machine
Oh
to
my
about
God.
a decade ago, yeah, they would have
It
paid
would have
them.
been fucking awesome.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
There was 10 people there, and 2 of them happened to be hot chicks that were, you know,
One of them
into
was
us.
into Mike, and one of them was stop talking to me.
Yeah.
Wow. This comedy life. It's very glamorous. You guys are scary.
Nothing like being on the road with Triple.
My mother-in-law moved in with us.
Oh, good times.
Except that the lunches are terrific.
I see. You have an awfully nicely prepared.
I got I have a 5-part bento going on here.
Is that a long-term thing, or is just she just happened to be in town?
Long term, she's the over/under that we've sort of discussed is like a year. She's lived in Milwaukee for 30 years. Just sold her house. Wants to be out here around her kid and
Kids,
her
yeah.
grandkid, and have a baby coming in August. So she's gonna help us.
Help you out, yeah.
Help us with the little baby, and then
That's
we'll
awesome.
kind of take it from there.
So you'll do a rejoin coming back after live read? Alright, cool. I'll come in when you start doing that.
Yeah, she closed her excellent Japanese restaurant in Milwaukee.
Oh,
And then
come
we'll go.
on. You're just loving that.
My kid is gonna be so fucking fat. Like we're gonna have to talk to her because he loves to eat and she wants to feed him. She only knows how to show love with food.
But if it's high-quality Japanese food, it could be worse. You know? Like a Mexican grandma would be.
A lot of rice.
How do you know it's time to switch to Dish and get hands-free TV with Amazon Alexa? If you've ever settled into your couch, then realized that your remote was all the way across the room, it might be time to switch to Dish. I really can't stand it when that happens. I particularly don't like it when my dog says hello to me and sits on the remote wheel. And then I'm like, I don't even know what I was watching, and the dog doesn't know what I was watching, and I don't know what channel it's on, and whatever the moment, it's gone. I don't know, man. Maybe Dish has an answer. It's because Dish is the TV leader in voice technology, Will. Yeah. Now with Dish, you can use Amazon Alexa to control your Hopper DVR using your voice. I know. With Dish and Amazon Alexa, you can do things like find your favorite show, search for your family movies, or find your team's game in an instant. Tell Alexa to pause, resume, rewind for TV recordings without having to touch a remote. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the new way to watch TV without your hands. Yeah, one time... Wait, that's not a story to tell with the Dish commercial. Okay. With Dish, does that Amazon Alexa require his internet-connected Hopper Joey or Wally and any Alexa enable Amazon device? For full details, call 1-844-CALL-DISH.
So I'm reading this silly news story this morning. Beverly Hills plastic surgeon accused of watching pornography while performing surgery and other unethical behavior.
I follow what's that guy, Miami guy, on the Snapchat thing. I can't even look on there anymore. But him and all his assistants, they dance around, they make jokes, and they Snapchat all day while they're scooping fat out of one spot and put it in another, Michael.
So this is child's play by comparison.
I think so.
So this guy is accused of a couple other things. He might have been performing some procedures that he was not technically licensed to perform.
Uh-oh.
He may or may not have had eye cancer, which may or may not have affected his ability to see. And he was not necessarily disclosing to his patients that he was maybe not able to see them when he was working on them.
Blind doctor.
The thing that really caught my eye about this is if you scroll down a little bit in this story, which was posted by KTLA, the patient is this woman by the name of Tess Broussard, who's actually a little bit of a celebrity.
She looks like she's no stranger to plastic surgery.
I actually follow her on Twitter.
Wow, you do?
Yeah. I've seen her, around town a little bit. Did you ever watch The Kroll Show?
Yeah.
She played a character on that who's married to a guy who's supposed to be this weird...
The rich scumbag?
Beverly, no, not the rich dicks. Dr. Armand. He's like this weird Beverly Hills plastic surgeon. And I guess life is imitating, art is imitating life, because she is the person who is making these accusations. And I guess she would know her plastic surgeons.
She sure would.
It's gonna be a weird addiction, but I guess who am I to? Yeah, she's got a weird face. Yeah, that is not. Yeah, that didn't work out at all.
I always feel bad.
She met Todd Bridges.
She sure did. I always feel bad for
who the fuck posts a
like
photo
that.
of when you get a photo with Todd Bridges?
Bridges. We should be clear. Yeah, we're talking about the Different Strokes guy.
Yeah.
I would post photos with Todd Richards every single day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Obviously.
I just you and I will never be fortunate enough to get that close to Todd Richards. But Todd Bridges, yes, we could probably right. And I'm not posting it. But the golden god that is Todd Richards. That is a photo that you wish you could get, ladies and gentlemen. I remember when the legend himself, Todd Richards... Wait, did Will just pour coffee all over himself or something?
On the couch there. Just a little spill.
But yeah.
Is that what that noise was? Did he mic up the coffee spill?
I think he accidentally mic'd up his jeans getting up from the couch.
Will's an artist. Yeah, and Will doesn't like it when we talk about
Todd Richards. With a hint
not
of
listening to the show. Yeah, because he doesn't listen anymore.
I threw my coffee on the
sorry.
floor. I threw my coffee on the floor in outrage.
Of what?
Todd Richards talk.
Just this whole thing.
Okay.
Well, maybe this next game can turn things around for you, Will.
Okay.
Yeah, we've done this game many times in the past with different people.
What page is it on?
The answers are on the games page. This is Does Anne Like It? We asked, or actually you, Jason, asked Anne Heche a whole bunch of questions. We got her answers. And Mike, Tully, and Will are going to try and match her answers on whether she likes things or not.
And this is different from... I don't really have a feel for her. Usually,
Right.
I feel like I know...
Who does?
I feel like I know the person enough.
You could beat her if she was here in this game.
Yeah, I feel like if we asked her these questions again, we would get completely different answers.
Can we try that? That'd be great.
I'm telling you, it could be. You wouldn't be like just a done deal. It would be neck and neck.
We'll play the game. What did you say?
Okay.
Did Anne like it?
All right, so the first one is deviled eggs. Does Anne Heche like deviled eggs?
I'm a solid yes.
No. It's got 2 strikes against it.
Why?
The devil.
And eggs. No, it's, number
Her 2
one,
weaknesses.
I don't know how she feels, and don't tell me, but I don't know how she feels about, dietary things like animals and stuff like that. And then it's also got mayo in it.
Yeah, the vegan vegetarian potential is strong, but I think that she enjoyed them when she was a kid, so maybe she doesn't indulge all that often, but she does like them.
So you guys are yes, and Will, you're a no?
Where's she from, by the way? Where'd she grow up?
Venus.
Yep.
got it.
Will. Will was right on.
Yeah.
So, not enjoyed as a delicacy on the planet Zarkson? Or she
Hey. Easy.
I know it.
Well, then, Will, does she like cats?
No.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm a yes,
she does.
too.
She is a cat.
I think she's going to say, I love all animals.
She used to be a cat in a former life. Go ahead. Oh, wow.
All right, so that's a
My
point.
answer was slightly less, less weird than hers. So
Alright.
yeah, guess a good point.
All right, next one. Does Anne Heche like roller skating?
Yep.
I'm going to say yes, and she's like shockingly good at it.
That doesn't make any sense.
I think she probably is bad at it, but likes it.
That's about where I come down.
Yeah.
So everybody's a yes.
Wait, who said and she's good at it? That's you, Mike?
Yeah.
I think you get 2 points.
I could just see her at a time in her life, like, I couldn't stop from putting on my skates and going out and hitting the town, hitting Central Park.
Having the time of her life.
She set up the cones.
All right, does Anne Heche like yoga?
You guys are looking at me like I remember the answers. I don't know anything.
She definitely does yoga.
Why do you say that? Just because Hollywood
She's
fit girl?
Yeah, but I brush my teeth. I don't like doing it.
That's
Man.
that's why I'm saying.
You're fucking nasty.
What, you love brushing your teeth?
Yeah!
I'm going to say...
That's fun for you?
Yeah!
I perform cunnilingus. If it doesn't mean it's my favorite. Yeah, she likes it.
See, I think she doesn't, but she does do it. But I'm going to say yes because she does it.
I think she's far too high-strung to enjoy yoga. She may do it. She does not like it.
So you're the only no, Mike.
I think... did someone else say no? I definitely say no, but...
I say yes, but I have the same reason.
I think
you
she
do.
fucking
I think
does
she
not
does
like
it and she loves it.
She's such a whore.
I'll take that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Does Anne Heche like crossword puzzles?
Jesus, no.
I think she could get really into one.
If she did it, but she does. No, that's way. I mean, dude, that's like, oh my God, sitting still and looking at boxes. No way.
Yeah, boxes.
She's gotta be.
She's
on
looked
the
at a box
move.
before.
She's gotta be on the move. She's gotta be doing.
I agree. I think for the same reason as yoga, I just don't think she can sit still long enough. I think she's far too high strung.
And what's the purpose of it?
Wow.
See, I think
To
like
test your brain.
I think you can do it with like a husband or a boyfriend or something, and they can sit there with a pencil while you pace back and forth trying to figure out what it would be. I think there's
She's
an
just
active
doing
way to do
cartwheels
crosswords.
around the room.
Cartwheels.
She dictates her answers.
A lot of people pace when they think.
So are you a yes or a no?
Yeah, I think she likes it.
Wow.
Tully.
Yep.
All
It's
right.
very romantic.
Wait, is that a yes or a no though?
It's close enough to where Tully gets a point.
Okay.
That's about as dead on as we'll get in this game.
That's important.
Does Anne like Neil Young?
I'm gonna say hell yes.
That's a tough one. I don't really know much of music. I'm gonna say yes, even though I feel like it's a no.
Okay, wait.
Wait.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Wait, I was going to say, I'll tell you exactly what I was going to say, which is that I was going to say no. I think that she does not like Neil Young, but that it's something that people feel pressured to say that they like, but she does not feel that pressure and she doesn't kowtow to it. She doesn't like it and she's not going to lie.
I gotta say I do.
Right.
There's no way that I
Man, I don't believe her.
Nice.
Lies,
Also,
right?
Very odd reasoning.
Yeah. Like she thinks he's good because everybody else likes him.
Because people watch him do a lot of poetry.
She might not even know who we're talking about.
So Will, was that? Were you a yes on that?
Yeah, I was.
We're talking about Henny Young, right?
You know what? You can really kind of say that about anybody who's able to speak and still come across like you know something. Oh, that Catherine Wood, the poetry that comes out of his mouth.
No one will buy that.
No.
You feel that's a political answer, Will?
I don't know.
Danielle Brigoli, I mean.
Tan mom.
Does Anne Heche like butt plugs? Butt plugs.
I think she does, and she'll say she doesn't. So I will say my answer is no. But I think deep down in the cockles of her heart, she loves them.
No, she doesn't. She does not like butt plugs.
I think she does, and she'll say she does.
No, you know what? I actually think she doesn't, but we'll say she does.
So you two are a yes, and Mike, you're a no?
I'm
So
a
you're
no.
saying she's a sexual poser?
Sexual liar, really.
Yeah.
I'm saying yes.
Okay.
I'll go for saying yes because it makes me feel better.
People.
Damn it.
That means she likes putting them in people.
Yeah.
Makes people feel better.
She
Yeah.
plugs butts.
Oh, the poetry.
She's a butt plugging maniac from hell. Yeah.
She's a goddamn ass plumber.
Right.
Ass plumber.
Does Anne Heche like the beach?
I don't think anybody truly does, but she's going to say yes.
What's wrong with you?
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
She's not gonna.
You know what? It's pretty to look at. I'm not in the sand cracks, but I do have a yes.
I'm right. She hates it, but she has to say
No,
she
no.
thinks she likes it.
She likes it. Look, I was gonna say
She really had to talk
she
herself
doesn't
into
like
that
the
one.
sand and shit getting on her, but she
Right.
likes the beach.
She doesn't like the thing that it is, but she likes it.
No, look,
It's the ocean
if
too.
she likes going there, then she.
I think I heard
likes
you
it.
once say, Tully, and I have to, even though I'm a beach guy, I have to agree with you. If you don't get in the ocean, the beach does, the juice doesn't measure up to the squeeze. It's like too much.
Bullshit, because it's the sound of the waves. All of that experience is why you're there.
Yeah, I mean,
running water's calming, the ionization or deionization of the air and the atmosphere.
What?
I'm pro beach. Don't get me wrong, but I do feel like there's a lot of trappings to the beach that, if you're not like a avid beach goer, it can wear on you. You know?
Especially
civilization
counts for a lot.
You're out of your mind. I mean, the only thing that sucks about the beach is people, and that doesn't count as the beach.
And sand in your car afterwards. That's
Sand
the
is good.
thing. No, after when not in your car, it's not good.
Okay.
And then in Southern California, any beach you're going to, you have to like pay out the ass for parking, which is annoying.
I don't know you.
And then if you got to go somewhere afterwards, you always take the beach with you. It always ruins the next thing you do.
No, but the sound, the
These people.
smell of salt.
Oh,
It
with
does
your
smell.
hair.
It smells
With those-
great,
with those
always.
ions.
That's true.
Ions.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've never gone to the beach for an ion ever.
You don't know
smell
it.
those ions.
Wait,
I didn't
do
know.
Do you not
Know about ions? I
know
don't.
that the air is different at the beach?
Yeah,
Okay then.
but I didn't know there was
Boom.
any ions. What are you booming me for?
I'm booming you!
The fuck?
Get over it! You've been boomed!
No, you can't
boom.
boom
Yes,
me.
I did boom!
No!
Straight boomed, bro.
I don't go to the beach for ions.
Boom!
No! No!
All right. Does Anne Heche like anime?
I don't like people booming me. I know that now.
No.
Fucking booming.
Are you refusing my boom?
Boom.
Some-
Damn right. Damn straight.
Some of it is really amazing.
That's a good call.
She's probably done voice work on anime.
So
But she
is that a
doesn't
yes?
No, she doesn't like it.
She doesn't like it.
Oh, fuck!
I do. Yeah. Japan anime, those big eyes. You know, and all. So, yeah, everything is so innocent, pretty, you know, like there's all flowers. It's like almost a cartoon. It's like a pop.
Almost. She's not watching the same anime as I
No,
am.
I'm watching tentacle hentai.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about tentacles in that answer. Does Anne Heche like?
Innocent is not a word I would use
Oh,
to
right.
describe the anime I enjoy.
Right.
Once again, that was one of those ones where I feel like she might have been answering the wrong question.
Does Anne like body modification?
Mmm.
Ew.
Oh, I'm gonna
No.
say because Jason Ellis is asking the questions, he's 100% gonna say yes.
That's fair. That's fair. I thought that was just
No.
coming out of my mouth. I'm
No.
just saying, not for her, for sure.
Wow, you're saying she's gonna yes man me?
She likes tattoos, but she doesn't like all the piercings and cutting and oh.
So that's a no from you, Will.
Right.
Okay.
And a yes from everybody else.
I gotta know.
Okay. All right.
Ah, yes.
Whoa.
That's the end of it?
Wait, I agree. That's the end of it?
Some of these she just gave one answers for. She didn't go into them. Just Pretty simple,
I must have,
yes
yeah, because she must have. I'm surprised she even knew what the fuck that was. I must have broken it down to her before or something.
I
Go
think you
ahead.
did, yeah. So where we are now, Will is in the lead, and Tully and Catherwood are tied with 1 point behind Will.
Go, Will.
Very tight game. Does Anne Heche like hookahs?
Does she like
Yes,
hookahs?
No.
Somebody likes hookahs.
Yeah, there's actually a restaurant near my house that's.
Wait, a hookah restaurant?
I swear
You
to God,
eat and do
There is a
hookah?
culture that's into it, like
the
for
food
cultural
is
reasons.
pretty good, and
Yeah.
I just got delivery from there a bunch of times. And one time I stopped in, and I was the only table that did not have a hookah.
Wait, so they hook and eat at the same time?
Yeah.
It's the whole evening of drinking. And you know what it is? It's a very specific kind of guy.
It's a cult. It's a certain, I
The
believe,
guys
it's
all seem
ethnicity.
like fucking assholes.
Uh,
Because there are a lot of a particular ethnicity,
Yeah.
but then a lot of them are guys who just seem to be attracted to the vibe that ethnicity
Sure.
has.
Okay.
It seems like a lot of guys who really like sitting there and taking their time and taking a long, thoughtful pull from their hookah. And yes, we will have more beer. And the chicks are like, "Are you sure, honey? Okay, yeah, he needs some more beer. Can we get some more beer over here?"
okay.
It's a guy who wants to feel powerful, and the only way he can get that
Gotcha.
is from a hookah on Venice
Well,
Boulevard.
wait, don't way to just slash that community.
I think I know the
into-
exact place you're talking about.
It's right by
Yeah.
Loveline. Yeah,
Yeah.
food's okay.
I hope they.
the atmos is fucking atrocious, but yeah, food's good.
I hope they watch the hookah bits that you put in your mouth.
I think they put little plastic stopper thingies over them. Like you get your own little hookah.
You get your own thing.
Because I went
Hookah
I
condoms.
I've been trying to, since this discussion started, rack my brain for why I did this, but I went to a hookah bar on Hollywood Boulevard once.
Ooh, can I say why?
I think I know.
I'm joking.
I think somebody was visiting from out of town and wanted to go to it, and we went like at a weird hour, and
The
we were
hookah
the
lounge.
we were
That's
the only
place.
people in there. And
Yeah.
all they showed was like all hip hop videos. And as
Ooh.
we walked out, it was all like dudes, like hip hop dudes.
Could you put weed in the hookah if no one's looking?
They must have. Right?
Well, here's the thing. I actually, when I was in New York, we went to a hookah bar one time, and people were saying like, "Oh yeah, it's crazy. Once you go in there, like everybody's smoking weed. Everybody puts weed in there. Blah blah blah." So we were in there for a good hour or two, just hitting regular hookahs, and we didn't smell weed at all, like in the slightest. And we were like, "What the fuck is going on here?" So we were just like, "Oh fuck it, we'll be the first ones." They put the tobacco in the bowl piece, put aluminum foil over it,
Oh.
and then drop a coal on top.
Oh.
So we didn't know what we were doing, so I just took a nug of weed out of my pocket and threw it in there, and it just landed on the charcoal
And burned up.
So it just billowed all this weed
Oh,
smoke.
you idiot!
And we were like, "Oh fuck, oh fuck, just hit it quicker!" So we're hitting it quicker, and that just heats the coal up more. So
You didn't put it under the foil.
we're looking around like, "Why is no one else doing this?" And
Did anybody say anything?
Oh yeah, well, some dude in a trench coat came over and
Trench coat.
wafted the plume of smoke into his face and did the nod like, "Okay, yes, that's marijuana." And he reaches into his trench coat and pulls out like an air freshener and just gives a couple sprays and then walked away. So we didn't get in trouble. We just looked like assholes.
Okay.
Yeah.
They actually have a like a
Air freshener trench coat.
no, like a red carpet thing, and the little divider thing where you can form a line. There's a line forming outside the hookah place on Hollywood Boulevard all the time.
Oh yeah, they're super busy.
Waiting to get in. But I say, yeah, she's Hollywood, so she would have been to a hookah thing and she enjoyed it. Yes.
Hookahs
Well-
suck. Everybody knows it.
She says. I say. She says no.
Yeah, I don't remember the answer, and I'm with Tully. Like, stop bashing her with the Hollywood thing.
What? No, I'm just saying she's been to a variety of different type things.
I don't think Hollywood people do hookahs. I think
Right.
I think like this
I think Hollywood tourists do.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
for hey, let's do this fun thing. Let's do this. We've already done that. We've done bowling. We did
Hey,
dance. We did laser tag.
Everybody's
Let's
in
do
time.
hookah.
Everybody. I don't think Hollywood people do laser tag.
If she has done it and enjoyed it, she was like in Morocco or something.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah.
I'm with Tully in that if she has done it, she hated it because it was such a macho kind of like domineering vibe,
And
she
also
hated
because it sucks.
it sucks ass.
She's more
Don't forget
macho
that.
than all those guys.
She is very macho,
Let's hear.
except for the matching lingerie.
What, do you smoke weed out of them? Then no.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hollywood, huh, Will?
Boom.
You just boomed yourself.
Yeah, because you're not there.
Old-fashioned self boom.
Doing selfies.
Boomerang.
All right, so that ties it all up.
Boomerang.
We have a three-way tie.
Meringue is good.
Does Anne Heche like frozen yogurt?
No, you know what? I think she's real. I think she says if you're gonna do it right. Need ice cream. But sometimes no. That's what I say.
She's gonna. Yes, she does.
Yeah, you're right.
She seems healthy. She seems. Am I right, Jason? She's like a healthy person.
I'm not helping you in this.
I wasn't asking
No.
if she likes it or not. I'm just asking if she's a health conscious person. She seems like it.
Hey, Jason, you guys ever go out for like frozen yogurt or anything? Just asking.
Did you ever drive
what you
past
guys
a Big Berry? And if so, what did she say?
I mean, she may prefer ice cream, but she still likes frozen yogurt.
So
Yes.
Tully, you're the only no?
Yeah.
It's a little bit sour, but yeah. I like how the candy you put on top of it.
That's so weird.
No kid thing.
Again. She's saying something about someone else enjoying it in her answer. I just think that just something I've noticed.
Bust her balls
No,
next
I'm
time
not
you see her,
busting her
Will.
balls.
Strangely aware of what her children enjoy.
Notice that.
I thought she
Almost,
said,
almost creepily said.
Wait, she said
In a very inappropriate way, she finds enjoyment from the kids eating ice cream.
I thought she said like the kids like it.
yeah,
or
the
whatever.
kids. Yeah.
Which I took to mean.
Her ones, yeah.
Oh, I didn't take it that way.
All right, well, does she like Star Wars movies?
Ooh.
Yes.
Catherwood. Any thoughts behind why, or just yeah?
I think they're just such a big. She is an actor, and I think it's just such a huge franchise with so much. There's just so much going into it in the world of Hollywood. I think she, appreciates it for what it's achieved.
Does she have like a male son, and if so, does he like Star Wars? You know what? I do think that I don't think that she's a kiss ass or a super Hollywood type or anything like that. People are a little weird about criticizing juggernauts in case it could be taken out of context or something, but I don't think she personally enjoys it all that much.
And what was yours, Will?
I don't think that she enjoys it as much as everybody else does. I think she would prefer something else.
So you think she's going to say no?
I guess, yeah.
That counts. Those are Star Wars movies, right?
Yeah.
We all know what that means.
Sure!
Yeah, the original trilogy. Right. Yeah, she likes Star Wars.
Yeah. But does she like roller coasters?
Yes.
Yes.
She is a roller coaster.
Oh, good answer.
Well, it's not an answer, you fucking asshole. What is
What's wrong
that?
with that?
Boom!
I say no.
He was already gone. He dropped the mic after he said that. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, that's the easiest one yet.
Does Anne Heche like Burger King?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
It's got mayonnaise on it.
It is loaded down with mayo.
That is like all the best Burger King items. That's their second best sandwich. She's right.
Oh, you guys are both disgusting. I did not know that. I'm surprised you know it. She knows it. I'm blown away that anybody knows that when they're that kind of person.
When I was a kid,
that's the superior chicken sandwich in the fast food game.
Even better than the Chick-fil-A?
No.
Because I don't eat any of them. I just hear
No,
that.
Chick-fil-A's way better.
You only really love the fast food that you taste when you're a child, and I didn't have Chick-fil-A until I was an adult.
Okay.
Yeah, I had those Burger King chicken sandwiches. They're like long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those were
fucking
the
terrific.
shit.
They were
I probably haven't had one in like 25 years.
Yeah, I want to go right now.
They had
me
the
too.
like the French roll bun on it, almost like
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty bomb.
Betsy, chicken sandwich!
No,
Sorry,
Betsy,
Jason.
no.
I mean, no.
It's
Or
really
when they
just
slice it really long way
Yeah.
instead of in half. You
Oh,
know, they're kind
dude,
of
you guys are not. That's not working. Anybody who thinks that this is like salivating fucking material,
Dude, it's a
you guys are
chicken
so
cutlet.
disgusting. It's not a
Mayo
chicken
and
cutlet.
lettuce.
It's a
Not a chicken
compressed
cutlet.
fucking jizz
He's
fucking
right.
meat patty.
He's right, with just the right amount of salt and spice.
Not chicken at all.
I love
Jizz
how
meat.
the
Cockroaches.
The iceberg gets all slimy in the mayo.
Okay,
Oh,
stop.
yeah, it's limp. It's limp.
It is limp. It's a totally different texture. It's
What
like-
else
it's like
does
mayo-
Anne
it's like mayo
like?
slaw.
Yeah.
Does Anne like olives?
Oh,
yes.
Catherine just wants this to be over.
No, I'm saying I really strongly feel a yes.
I do too.
Me too.
Oh,
Take that.
I just see her with like a Mediterranean plate plopping them in her mouth. I don't know.
Martinis, whatever. I mean, cheese.
She knows about expensive alcohol. I'll tell you that.
All right.
Like-
Does she like expensive alcohol?
Is that on there?
No, but The Simpsons is. Does Anne like The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
This game just sped up.
Yeah.
Does she like the Rolling Stones?
Well, there's the poetry, obviously.
Not to mention the smile on people's faces when they watch them.
Right. The Stones, man.
If you say you like Neil Young without having an obvious, deep knowledge of his catalog,
Right.
I don't see how you say no to the Stones.
I'm saying she says yes.
She's gone to a Stone show. Okay, I'll say yes. Okay. Are you sitting that button over and over again?
You just figured out what the yes and the no are.
Yeah.
There's a nice little block here where she gives just one word answers. Does Anne like reality TV?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Might as well say yeah.
Don't get all pit. She said yes. Doesn't matter if she puts might as well. You're wrong. Next.
I wish you were here to
Don't
tell us
boom.
what her favorite reality show was other than her hypothetical one that
Right.
she's on.
Yeah. We still said yes.
How about comic book movies?
No.
No.
I don't like what the superheroes and stuff.
Yes, that's.
Yeah, she likes some of them, yeah. There you go.
There you
Alright.
go.
So what? There are 3 left, and where do we stand?
There's 3 left, and it's pretty much anybody's game because Mike Catherwood is in the lead with 11, Will close behind with 10, and Tully right behind him with 9.
Ooh, man, what a game.
Yeah. So, does Anne Heche like pickles?
No.
In her box.
She didn't like olives.
You mean crossword?
Yep.
She didn't like olives, but she likes that Burger King sandwich, which I believe is pickle.
It does not have pickles in it.
And I'm gonna
you
say
guys
no.
are all disgusting.
I'm gonna say no. She doesn't. No.
You know about the pickle in the sandwich.
It definitely doesn't have it. It would ruin it.
Oh,
Fuck that.
While it improves the chicken.
I was hungry.
And the KFC chick sandwich.
Yeah. I say that she does like pickles.
So you're the only...
Oh!
There we go. Will creeping up.
Damn it!
Does Anne Heche like onions?
She
Yes.
like Kevin Kraft, or does she? Onions, fuck. No.
And you were a yes, Tully?
Yes.
And Will?
She does. She can't have them off him because she's got to kiss people on screen. But yeah.
If you put an onion in your butt, would it burn?
Probably.
Yes.
Yes. Ugh.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, Catherwood.
Getting into it.
Last question.
That's
You
boom,
on that
Will.
one, Will?
Yeah. No, I was wrong on that one.
All right. So here we go. Best you can hope for, Will, is a tie. Does Anne Heche like shooting guns?
Yes.
Yes.
I have to go with no then.
Yeah.
Ah! Okay.
And there we have it. Mike Catherwood.
Woo!
Anne Heche best.
I sure know
Yeah.
Anne Heche.
You couple of Hollywood.
You should go up. You should go up against her in the championship of. Does she know?
Does she know?
Yeah.
Same questions.
Yeah, exact same questions.
I feel like I got a little bit of a cheat code because of my wife. Because my wife is like, she's not full Anne Heche, but she's like a starter kit.
It's an odd way to put it, but
Yeah, that's a real odd way to put it. I don't know about that. She has this thing where she thinks she's been ostracized and then come back in. You know, like she's had to rebuild herself. Because I feel like to us, you know, 'cause especially these days in society, when you go naked and into the desert and you named yourself Celestia, I mean that you've never been more famous. But that's the end of it for like. We heard that and we were like, hey, she went crazy and
Wrong time.
She went out with somebody else and that's her and then you see her in another movie or a TV show and you're like, that's Anne. Like obviously she went batshit crazy for a little bit, but didn't fucking Iron Man at one point do heroin and break into someone's house and fall asleep in their bathtub?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. Like,
time heals all wounds.
yeah, but I never thought Robbie Downey Jr. was done ever, and just like I never thought Anne Heche was because I don't know her. It's just that chick that was in a couple movies.
Unless you're an absolutely, I'm not some Hollywood expert, but I mean I've seen it as someone who's genuinely interested. Unless you're a horrible person, talent will win out. You can make a lot of mistakes. If you're talented and a somewhat good human being, you will have redemption. And she's talented. It's hard to deny that.
Yeah, so Mel Gibson, he's super talented and a somewhat good human being.
Yeah, you know what? The only reason
that is a crazy one for him to be in that I'm a Dad movie or whatever it is. I know, obviously, I never watched it, but I would say that half of the people in that were Jewish.
I don't think he.
You know what I mean? Like people working there or writing. Like, how did he?
Because
convince them that was just a bad day.
He's not just a performer. If Mel Gibson was just Mel Gibson the actor, there's no more fucking roles.
Do you think that he wrote some of that?
No, I just think that the power he wields from Passion of the Christ and Braveheart and things like that has put him on a different level in Hollywood. Okay. I mean, the actual power status he has is higher than that of just an actor.
Well, look, I've always been a fan, because he was from Australia and Mad Max and all that stuff. That got me into motorsports and stuff. So it's kind of like he's a little bit of a false idol way because. I was into Mad Max. I wasn't into Mel Gibson, but then he was Lethal Weapon, and it was somehow possible. I was like, he's still a man's man to me. I didn't grasp any more of that. I was always sort of supporting it, the only Australian I could think of that actually made it to America, and I didn't know that he'd already been born in America and he came to Australia, but beside the point, he made it. He was from fucking shit nothing Melbourne, and now he's Braveheart, the greatest actor in the world, so it was like a huge accomplishment. But I remember when he did that shit, I also did not understand any of that, and I just thought that he had spent his whole life hiding his hatred for the Jewish community, and finally got drunk and successful enough to tell everybody to go fuck themselves. Because I didn't get it, and then I hear half a story. Oh, his dad hates the Jews and doesn't believe in Auschwitz, and I'm like, okay, well that means I could see how I would be a little fucked in the head if my dad was telling me that stuff. But he's pretty old now. It's time for you to like make your own decisions. You know, I mean, if my dad was like, black people aren't real. Like, I'm 46. I gotta start believing. I gotta start calling my own shots here. I'm gonna go ahead and say that might be bullshit, Dad, because there's a lot of other people that are backing it up.
Do you think of his that phone thing he did with his wife or ex-wife or whatever? If that came out today, would it be worse than when it did come out?
Well, to me, that is this is not an excuse, but it's easier for me because I'm a madman as well who has a really bad temper, but I never hit anybody, so that I didn't understand that. But he just seemed like somebody who had a really bad drug addiction.
And I also think
it's not a whole pass, but he didn't sound like he was a
if that came out today in an era where we all are like, oh, the president fucking porn star.
I was about to say,
I think things you can get away with just an astronomical amount of things in 2018 compared to even just 10 years ago.
But on the other hand, you can't get away with anything.
But I don't know.
If it's anti-social movement.
I don't know how.
Maybe in Me Too. I don't saying calling a woman a glum cunt and telling her you're going to bury her.
No, that's why I'm saying it.
Yeah, that's true.
But also at the same time, I don't know why.
Women hate that now.
I got the feeling that the person who was on the other end of that conversation was attempting to get the maximum angry Mel out of that conversation for demonstration purposes.
I think everybody agrees with that listen to him. It doesn't make...
I just can't imagine. Even if someone was pushing my buttons, I would say things. If someone was secretly recording me, definitely say things that I didn't want to get out in public. I would never tell a woman, "You'll be lucky if I don't bury you in the rose garden."
Yeah, but he doesn't. He
wasn't gonna kill her.
Man, I feel like I don't know that guy, but every time I hear him do an interview like that, podcasting with Joe Rogan the other day, he's an angry man.
Yeah.
Like, he's very angry and he's very in charge. Anne H is the loveliest person inside her soul. She just wants to be bubbly and friends with everybody, but she's been a Hollywood movie star. And every now and then she will say something that is a little bit rude and kind of pretentious. And it's not her fault. It's like where it's the community that they come with. Like, there's these Hollywood people that just go from one plane to... And every now and then they're like, oh, I'm not drinking that. That's ridiculous. You're like, whoa, what the fuck is that? You're like, who says that?
Yeah.
Somebody that in their group of people says that. And he seems like the kind of person who's always in charge. He always run everything. Whether it's right or not, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying he's the kind of guy that is always, well, I can tell you right now what's going to happen if you want to know. That's how he is about everything.
Yeah, he's a know-it-all.
So you're never gonna get one on him, and if you act like, because the other thing is, I notice there's people I know lately that they're like, this is the way it is, and that's the and they're not even, and even if you had a rebuttal, they can't even fucking hear it because they're absolutely positive everything that comes out of their mouth is for sure 100% correct.
And I'm sure that's a personality trait that can rub people the wrong way. When you're a director, it's probably very helpful.
But his one is also. He has another trait that is even worse, which is it's a pissing contest. So not only is he always correct, but if you try to say something that might be in any way, not like I disagree, just what about if I wanted to take the conversation a little off to the left? Not only I will not accept you trying to steer my conversation anywhere, but now I am also offended by that and I am aggressive about it. He's super quick to be aggressive about anything. Like I feel like anybody at this point that is like bullshit in love with this guy is bullshit in love with this guy. You can't say in the first couple of hours how he charmed the pants off you, because I don't think you can steer him in a fucking conversation
If
where
you're
you
having
might want to go. He'd be like, I don't really like what you're saying. How about that?
If you're having a legitimate conversation, you're right. You know, there's no way you can possibly enjoy it.
Yeah, like, well, what about after you fuck? You want to change a channel? Like, he ain't gonna fucking. You ain't changing channel on him.
Felt the same way. Always felt the same way about Gene Simmons. You know, you're trying to interview, and you just you're not even saying something to clown him. You just want to change topics or move on. It's like, whoa, we're, you know, let's get this back on track. And it's like, wait a second, you're on my show. Like, what do you mean?
But that seems like more of an act that comes out of a kernel of reality, whereas Mel Gibson seems like that is who he is.
No, but Mike's right. There is sarcasm with Gene Simmons, or there is like a showmanship of it.
Yeah.
He
but
thinks
but
he's
you
being funny, kind of.
Yeah, but you are right. He is still the person that has to feel like he is in control of everything. Same as fucking Andrew Dice Clay. Just came in here and was like, I'm running it. You're not. I don't know you from the 70s. You're not David Letterman or Howard Stern. So I'm fucking running this show. You know what I mean? Like, my kids are going to come on here and you're going to interview them next. I'm like, no, I'm not. You know, like, who the fuck are you? I'm like, oh, okay, this is somebody that's sold out Madison Square Garden and is like, I just fucking, if you're just some dude I don't know, then I just tell you how to run your fucking show. And if you have
that.
Yeah, but that's just because you can get away with it. If you get to, like, I feel like I've come a long way from this show, and I'm like, wait, am I good at this? Fuck, I might actually be really good at this. I'm the best there is. I no longer listen to any of you. I know exactly what I'm doing all the time. Reality check. Maybe 100,000 reality checks later. You're a fucking idiot, dude. Just because you're good at the radio doesn't mean you get to treat anybody any different. Fuck. Sorry, everybody. And then there's still these fucking, because everyone's let me get away with stuff. It's like, milk on my coffee. Like, I'm trying to point out, I don't do that one, but I can't catch one right now. But you moved my fucking midgie thing on the table. You know, I got shit up my ass because people let me get shit up my ass. And it's insignificant radio. Imagine real fucking celebrities that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've noticed when I did the show with Drew and Catherwood, just being in the green room there. They're fucking up your ass. Everybody's up your ass. You can have anything you want in there on some insignificant TV show that goes for 20 minutes. Try Hollywood and actually being successful, like the actual star of the movie. You can't get anybody to be real with you. You could be like, hey, come over here. Seriously, you know, I'll just please give me your honest. Like, you're not going to get anyone's honest opinion until the dust settles. I feel like the buzz of like Harrison Ford's and all these people. You can't tell Harrison Ford, man, you're just fucking annoying right now, dude. Shut the fuck up. Like, you know how fucking sloppy you look right now? No one's going to tell Harrison Ford that. No one's going to tell Anne H that. I feel like there's, and when they get to that level, then they haven't heard reality for so long that they don't even know they're an asshole. Because I can honestly tell you, most of the time I was an asshole, I didn't say be an asshole. I just got used to something being a certain way and was like, just go get that. Or what the fuck is this?
You adapted. You adapted in a negative way, maybe.
Well, and also,
fuck yeah.
Let's not forget, how many times have you just encountered like a 60-year-old man who has never been the star of a major motion picture, who just in his house is a fucking know-it-all blowhard? Did you ever date a girl whose dad was like that?
Right.
Yes.
So that's just a thing that can happen to people and men, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's not true. I met a woman that once that owned that worked at a dog pound that I couldn't be near for 3 seconds.
I've met girls, and maybe they grow out of it, maybe it changes, but I've met girls who were so hot that they had that way. That they were so accustomed to everyone just being like, you're right, you're so interesting, you're so cool, because they were so unbelievably hot that they just got this really distorted sense.
Yeah, but here's the way it works in entertainment, because there's so many young people that think that they need to be cutthroat and be mean to everybody else in order to make it in entertainment, and the truth is, nobody will ever hire somebody who is an asshole, because they'll poison the rest of the people that are working on whatever project it is. And the only caveat to that is if someone is extraordinarily talented, people will put up with the fact that they're an asshole. But generally speaking, if you're an asshole, people will not hire you.
What if
They'll
you're
take somebody with less talent over somebody with more talent and who's an asshole.
maybe nowadays, I think, because it's harder to sell movies around movie stars because we don't have as many. But I would imagine in the 80s, if you're, and I'm not saying that this person's an asshole, but if you're in the 80s and you're Tom Cruise or Harrison Ford, I bet you they could get away with it.
I'm with Mark on this one. I know for a fact. Well, you know what? That's not true because I wasn't on the movie with
In
Harrison
the big,
Ford. But a good
big
friend
movie
of
star
mine
days
told me that those guys, like Harrison, was just drunk and high all day, and you walk in his trailer and he would come out, bail of smoke, and he'd be like, "What the fuck's going on?" And he'd be angry because he's drunk, and he was just an absolute prick to everybody on set.
Yeah, but that's after he was Harrison Ford.
Right.
Well,
I know,
nowadays,
but,
I feel
but that's
like
still. But you're still like he's a father. He's a man. You know, how do you get to treat everybody like that?
I don't know, but when you're up and coming, before you make a name for yourself and have inherent value, people will not hire you if you're an asshole. I've seen it in music. I've seen it in television and bands and recording studios and
I think things are changing. I think I see a lot more bubbly kids these days in the limelight, and they look like they're most of the time easy to deal with, or at least like, oh, I love your hair to die for, blah 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 kind of people. And then I see videos of olden time people like Elton John, who is an absolute cunt, and there's no way that he wouldn't admit it. I mean, I've met him before. He's not happy. He's not, and I've seen other videos of where, I mean, just to tell Madonna, what an absolute fucking cunt. Give me a fucking joke. I mean, he's pissed. You're pissed on stage at an awards thing, hammering some other bitch, and I can relate to that. When you're stabbing at other people, you're just pissed all the time.
I think with how things are these days, with everybody being called out and the Time's Up stuff, I think there's a certain type of behavior that you can probably still get away with depending on your level. But I mean, I saw a headline recently that said, the Duffer Brothers, the guys that created Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
It said like Duffer Brothers accused of abuse, and I was like, oh no. So I clicked on it to see what they did, and it was just like they're difficult on set.
They're director.
Yeah, I mean, like Michael Bay is notorious for being just a cocksucker of the highest order, just bitching out anybody, like just real nasty. But it's like, so the directors were a bit tough on set. That now counts as abuse. And this is a day and age when people are just scanning headlines. They see something like that, they think these guys are like rapists or something.
Yeah, that's true.
It's really weird to call people out like that when it's just like they're being tough on set.
Wow, I didn't click on any of that, but
Right, but yeah, being super talented will only get you so far if you're an asshole, which explains why Andrew is dead in
Very talented.
no, he's not. And he's an asshole. Hence the firing and death. We'll be back without him.
That's really like a perfect example of like how a game. It's not about the game; it's about the conversation that can grow out of the game.
Yeah,
I
of
really
course.
like that.
Right, but the game really could have been a little shorter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I could tell. It's kind of like
it did lead to a good conversation.
Betsy? Oh, yeah, I just like Katie.
Oh, you need
Your pin. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know where mine is. Oh, there it is. It's right by me.
Are
There you go.
Burger
Sorry.
King sandwiches here yet?
Okay, and this is the pin for the phone? Oh, whoops, I just did your thing. There we go. Did you get a pin already?
Nope. I'm
Oh.
just giving you the phone
Okay.
before I go back into
Okay. I get to
the
get-
zone.
Do you want me to keep the fans out during the break?
Fans
Or are you
out where?
okay? They're in the green room? Was it
Bring them in here,
Okay.
yeah.
Hey, you guys want a pin? So Casey, do you make some sort of a pin, and I'm giving her the pin?
They give you a pin and then you pass the pin in.
Come on.
How you doing? What's up?
How are you? Good.
I hate being on the ground with shin guards. This shit doesn't work.
Hey, how's it going? Good. How you doing?
Good. Good to see you.
Gen number 2, Gen number 1. Now you know.
White black.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I knew it was gonna get cold in here. For
Yes.
sure. Of course it's cold. I know. It's like it's hanging in here, right?
It was freezing.
Huh?
You're so excited.
Well, she's like eating part of it. I thought it was just
so.
Well,
I knew there was gonna be a snack there or something.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
a snack.
Yeah, no. I told Jen. So what are you guys up to? Just loitering?
Sneaking into McDonald's parking lots.
Parking in illegal spots.
It's like most of LA.
Welcome to LA.
Right down the street.
You guys not valet?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, well, they have like a parking garage or a parking spot or
But it's only
lot
like
next
one
to,
spot.
yeah.
And I went in the wrong
Yeah,
spot. So we're like,
gotcha.
we ran up there and grabbed our stuff. We're like,
Well,
let's go before they tell
luckily
us.
they have most of the windows boarded up, right? They're not
Yeah,
windows
yeah.
and driving, so they probably didn't
We
even
like
have
pretended like we're walking in and then
Yeah.
walked
It's also
right
like
out.
super
Go get like a dollar
Yeah.
something. You guys want something to drink or
Water.
A giant water.
water?
Yeah, Tully said he's got a bunch of headlines. We can go over the UFC
Do you want anything?
card.
You can always
Unless you
share.
have
You just want to
tequila.
pause if you want.
We used to, but I think
I'm
that
kidding, but
moved
I'm
out.
not kidding, you know?
What's up, Catherine?
How are you?
Good, how are you?
There's not enough mics.
Jay,
Just
Jen,
nice.
Jen.
We met at the last Ellis Mania.
Yeah,
Aaron.
go
Aaron,
cards.
yeah.
Pretty nice.
It's been a minute. Becky, you say?
Maybe Jason can sit this one out.
Boom! Your hair is so good at the front. You're such a fucking bitch. I hate you. It's like
His hair.
I will say this.
the top of this bit right here is like so thick.
I will not.
That's the
I'm
section.
not one of those guys. Just so you know, I'm not one of those guys that
I
will
guess it's all
probably
set up.
die with a full
Oh,
head
yeah?
that goes like,
That's awesome.
yeah, whatever. I mean, I totally am grateful every day. I have a little grateful
It's gonna
journal.
be like
You know, I'm
bacon
supposed to every
pepper.
morning write 3 things I'm grateful for.
My hair.
90% of the time, I would put my hair in the top.
Yeah, right?
This part right here would be
And there
great.
trees like my dimples.
Just the front part.
Yeah.
I've been missing it for a few years.
Well, it normally goes right here in the back is where it starts.
My hairline went for a walk.
It's just making you uncomfortable.
No, that's
It's like, no,
I'm used to that.
So you are gonna roll, keep rolling or not?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
I don't know.
I am only for the like. I mean, I do get a charge of like the competitive aspect of it because it's very rare that I get to like test myself in Muay Thai, you know.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not as like immediately fulfilling.
No.
It's not.
The only time it's good for me now is Eddie, because I know Eddie's like a legit fighter.
Yeah.
And I'm better than him at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And I've, in the last 2 years, that wasn't the case. So now, he's just my measuring stick. So
Right.
now when we roll, I'm like, oh dude, I'm so much better than you. And how crazy is that? Because you were so much better than me. And then,
That's another thing. Is like you
hang on, it's okay. Hello? I knew it.
in comparison to like striking sports, you get a very clearly defined like
I know.
improvement. You know, that's cool. I like that.
No, because it's messy. It's super messy when you're not that good either. Like those dudes are all like everything's all clean and they know that one thing's about to happen into the other. You're like kind of like, oh wait, maybe no. You're like,
Breathing all hard.
yeah, like it seems like more of a. That's why when you get, I'm at the like, because my coach is like, you're a purple belt. Just you know, I mean, I'm an asshole and you're not gonna get it yet. But now I see things that go into things, and if you're not as good as me, it is far more enjoyable. Like when it's him, me passing his guard is a win. So that's all. And then I'll be like, ooh, and then right as I go, ooh, then it's like,
He slips out of it, you can do it, and has your back, yeah. No, that's the shitty part of rolling with black belts is that you think you got one up on them, and they're just
you
like,
got it, but it's the same as it's like what Sam was telling me. He's like, don't look at it like you're not, but look at it like you're just you. When you got your listeners, you just tell some stories every now and then you're funny. Then there's nowhere near as much pressure. And I'm like, yeah, because I don't want to be there because I just know what a real comedian is.
It is because as a fan of comedy, it is frustrating to go up there and not be, you know, Chris D'Elia or something. You know,
But it's,
'cause I
but
see
it's
so
the way
much
you look at
comedy,
it. It's
you know.
like when I go to the races, man. I look at you know what I mean, I'll win my class, and then there's like 4 other classes above me, and I'll look at Deegan, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I might not even. They wouldn't even let me start that car up.
Yeah.
Let alone race it. But am I supposed to just like quit?
Yeah.
Because
no.
I'm never going to be Deegan? Like,
Yeah.
fuck,
No, I
I'm
hear
having a
you.
good time.
Yeah, I look at it like I want to see how good I can get at the real thing, but I assume at a certain point I would be talking to a more captive audience. And then at that point, well, wow, if you can survive in a room that doesn't already listen to you on the radio,
Right.
you should be really well equipped to deal with.
Do you want to try and
You know?
get everybody in on the couch for this, or just have it
Yeah.
in the green room?
Yeah, get them all in. Some Atmos Friday.
Okay.
Keeping it clear.
Try not to be too funny, Tully, so they don't laugh over everybody.
I'll do my best.
He's only human.
If only I were a little bit more human, really. It's just this superhuman comedic ability.
Do you battle with? Is that your daily conflict? You wake up, you're like, if I could only
Just
be more
fucking
of
tone
a
it down. Yeah.
regular man.
Yeah. It's so funny. Because I talk like that to my son all the time. I don't know why, I think it's really funny. Like, there's this Japanese character called Ultraman that he's just like, oh, I got this Ultraman book. And I'm like, oh, no way. That was my nickname in high school. I don't know why. I feel the need to say shit like that to him all the time.
You know, I do that because my son does the movie thing. Like, is he gonna? Did that guy just do? Is that why does that guy have that thing? And my new thing is because I would always tell him stop doing that, dude. Like nobody watches a movie where the person asks questions. So now I just give him fake answers as to the stupid question. And yeah, he does it. Really? No.
Yeah. Go ahead. Snuggle up. You smell tremendous.
Ooh,
I'm letting you know
thanks,
that.
Mike.
He's hitting on you.
And like,
Hey, how's it going? My name's Jason Ellis. Do you like pussy? Pussy is arguably not G-rated. Right. Do you like girls? Do you like cool shit? Do you like the inside of people's holes? The shit in the holes thing, mate. No. I didn't say shit. You did. You don't even know you say shit. Oh, shit. Yeah. Do you like shitting in people's holes? You can't say that, Jason. Yeah. I said that? Man, who does that?
It will be UFC Fight Night 107 this weekend, but number one in my heart.
Yeah, I reckon that real big, tall German dude's gonna upset Febrezio Verdum. That's what I said. What do you think about that?
I believe he's Russian.
I don't care. They're all the same to me.
Okay.
What do you think about that statement?
Totally
White
valid.
people,
Totally valid.
just another fucking cracker. You know what I'm saying?
Alexander
He's a
Volkov by
big
name.
fucker.
But I'll tell you what, he's not just another cracker in the heavyweight division. He's like, it's pretty rare to be one of those guys out there. But yeah, he does look very tall. Is he like almost 7 foot? Because he made Febrezio look short.
He's 79 inches. That's 6'7".
Right, they took a photo with each other, a face-off where they put Febrezio on a chair.
Febrezio is a very funny guy. But we'll see who's laughing after this fight.
Well, we'll see who's laughing if it goes to the ground. Because it's only a matter of time before he pulls his fucking arm off or something.
Yeah. What's his name? Drago. Like as in, oh god, he sucks so bad.
He must break.
I know.
Everybody.
Yes. Yeah. Well, hopefully he has like cool Russian steroids.
He appears to be in good shape.
Yeah, Febrezio's always been fat though.
Yep.
He just doesn't really, I think he gets high a lot.
It's possible.
We have some people here, members of Ellis fam, who are very professional radio people, just immediately became quiet as fuck when the mics went hot. Like, holy shit. I can't get any respect like this from anybody else that comes on here. Like, even people's fucking, you know what I mean? When some manager just has to come in and take a fucking selfie of the guest's side of his head.
Yeah.
Even those fuckers can't shut up. You guys, man.
Whatever Gracie they brought with them.
Yeah. I'm not laughing at that.
And Jimmy Manua also. He's from there, right? England? That's what this is.
Yes,
the
yes.
O2 Arena, so that'll be a...
Who's he fighting?
Jan
Ooh.
Blachowicz.
Man, somebody's going to get... Yeah, that's cool, because I like watching real big dudes that lift a lot of weights punch each other in the face. I don't think it's a gay thing. I just think it's like... I'm like... I feel like when you're as big as them, you're like, look, he might not be the greatest striker in the world, but we've got 4-ounce gloves on. If he punches me in the face, I am for sure unconscious. I'm a big tough man. I don't care about pain. I don't want to lose the contest. And that is where all the chips lie. Because it's like, they're both like, I'm fucking tough. I'm fucking scary. So are you. And I have to respect that. So it's like, I'm not in fear of you, but I am very respectful of your fucking hand touching my face and me going to sleep. So it just makes it way more nerve-wracking when two people fight like that. And those two people are, man, they're buff.
They sure are.
I mean, what the hell's going on with the dude from Poland? 205. That means that dude's like 230.
225, yeah.
Well, speaking of Eastern Europeans dying.
Yeah? Who died?
A Romanian man.
Oh, yeah, no, I heard about this.
Yes. Is struggling to prove to the world that he is not dead.
Did he used to announce for Strikeforce? Because if he looks like that one guy that used to announce for Strikeforce, I can see how you can't prove if you're alive. Who was that guy? Remember the weird, like, Skeletor looking guy? He just looked like he was dead, man. He was just the worst announcer ever. I'm like, you're like a 65-year-old dude with a suit. Oh, Jacare, say with me! Jiu-Jitsu! Even Jacare was like, I'm not singing with you, zombie man. Like, who is this zombie that you've got in here doing interviews with me? Yeah, what is that dude's name? They got rid of him.
So this man left Romania in 1992, traveling to Turkey for work and adventure, and he lost...
That's where I go for adventure. Turkey.
Compared to Romania?
Yeah, it's cold there. Everybody's pretty, though.
He lost contact with his wife and with his family, and having heard nothing from him for years, his wife got a death certificate for him in 2016, which was fine until he came back and was unable to re-enter his own country because he didn't have current paperwork. It was all expired.
Yeah.
And he said, well, just give me new ones. And they said, we can't. You're dead. And they say legally a death ruling is final.
So does that mean he can do whatever he wants now?
Stay in Poland, yeah, and have fun.
Yeah, can he not now just kill people?
He can't go anywhere because he can't go into Turkey because he doesn't have current papers from Romania. And he can't go into Romania because he's dead there.
Wait, so where is he?
Maybe he's at the airport. Is he like that one?
Wait, he lives in the airport like Tom Hanks? Yeah. That's not a bad life.
Does he have to stay like in maritime areas or?
I'd rather live in.
He's only. He can only go in the ocean and badlands.
and cemeteries. He could be a groundskeeper at a cemetery.
DMZ between South and North Korea.
There's
goes down by the.
There's a business
Guam.
there that he can make a lot of money out of. We just haven't figured it out. But there's something that a dead guy who's alive that can do that we can't.
If they're gonna sit there and say, "Well, you're not. We can't prove that you're alive. Go away," then he should be able to say, "Well, then can't fucking arrest me either."
That's right.
You know?
Does that mean does he get to walk past them?
Or at least just start murdering.
They could shoot him and they'd be like, now you're dead.
Isn't this like...
He can't be convicted of murdering a dead man either. So he's got to play his cards.
Yeah, and you're in Romania. So I wouldn't be barking at anybody at the border about how I'm a dead man.
Fuck you, I'm already dead, bitch!
Yeah, what are you going to do? I'm dead already!
Bullet
to a Romanian.
You put my dead dick in your mouth!
Yeah.
What do you do, Romanian Secret Service? Oh, shit!
Didn't even pull the cigarettes out of their mouths. Just fucking bullet to the face.
Yeah, he must be living in terror at the airport. Because, I mean, how many Romanian security guys are like, this guy's already dead. And I love killing people.
He's the ultimate.
I'm Romanian.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
This is ultimate game.
Shooting fish in a barrel.
Who killed first? Yeah, like, who kills him first? Everyone's trying to poison him.
Yeah. Oh, wait, this is totally like a Seagal Nick Cage movie.
Yeah,
Killing a dead man.
Yeah. I mean, that guy,
They
man,
can't prove I'm alive.
Get a camera on him immediately, because TikTok.
Well,
What can he do?
He's got to go to like Canada or something.
What about if he walks
Doesn't
through?
it seem like they would take him?
Yeah, that's the only place off the top of my head where they'd be like, oh yeah, they'll take him.
Yeah, but he can't get on the plane, though, can he?
No, he'll have to swim.
Wait, he can't. He has no food. How does he eat if he's dead?
He can join like the merchant marines and stuff because that's what people who have no papers in America can do.
Yeah, but we're assuming this guy's old. He doesn't have any ability. He's not Jason Bourne. He's like some old fat Romanian guy who wants to go home and die.
No,
I
I
join
want
the French Foreign Legion and march over to the water where he can join the merchant marines and where he can sail to Canada, who will welcome him and give him social medicine.
Can't somebody go get him and take him home? Can you adopt him?
The
Yeah.
problem is no one wants him either. This is
I'll
a man,
adopt-
This is a man who abandoned his wife and children in 1992. It's
I'll adopt him.
He's
I mean,
like a son of a bitch.
Yeah,
He's not a war hero. He is. He's a deadbeat. Yeah, it doesn't make a big difference.
Yeah, but can't you adopt him and then, you know what I mean, like, put him in the shed or something? Like, tie him to something in the shed and just, like...
Not feed him?
No, feed him, but, like, come
You
over...
want to jet Li this guy? Want to put him in a box for a while and
Yeah, I just want
train
to...
him?
Yeah, just fuck with him. Like, play games with him and shit. Throw balls at him. Like, hey, you want to come over to my house and throw balls at my fucking dickhead in the garage?
I got...
You want to play eat in front of the hungry guy?
He left his family. He left his family. He's not a nice guy. You guys just said it. Yeah, like give him like a little bit of dog food and then eat like a fucking like a Quiznos in front of him, like blow the toasty. Smell that toast. No toast for you. Dog food for you, bad boy. I own you.
You can finish on him.
Wait, this
Bang
is
a chick in front of him and just load on him.
Becoming a little slave here. I just realized.
It's a little dark.
He's your
Eh,
bitch.
sorry about that. I guess that's just that my what color's my skin? Something shining through.
Your true colors?
Yeah, because we're like evil from the cold lands, evil people that want it all to ourselves, blue-eyed, frozen people, right? Living in the frozen cold, and I'm very angry because I'm cold all the time, and I'm like eating meat. I'm not eating vegetables because vegetables don't grow in the snow, so I just eat buffalo faces and shit like that. I fucking hate Indians because they've got like better bow and arrows, and sometimes they steal my traps. So yeah, I'm pretty fucking angry at everybody. So maybe that's what's happening right now.
Speaking of frozen people, are you familiar with Frost Boy?
No.
No?
Sounds like a 90s rapper.
Wait, is he a real person?
Yeah, he looks like he'd be one of the kids they're training to be an X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
he
he's
does.
not. He's just really, really cold.
Wait, is he
No.
frozen?
Yeah, he's really frozen.
Does he? Wait, is he dead?
Nah.
Wait.
His name's Wang.
Wait, he's like, hey, I'm Wang. I'm Wang and I'm frozen. Wait, his hair's
He
frozen.
would have said in Chinese.
Eyelashes, yeah.
Look, I came late to this story. I
He
just,
fucking he thaws out. Like this is a fucking photo of him when he goes.
just walked in.
But
From
wait,
the cold.
does his cold come from within, or is he just living in a cold place and they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
look.
Hey,
From within.
he gets cold just the same as you and I.
Okay. Well, then how is he
No, he's
frostbitten?
not.
I
He's
don't
not
know.
telling the truth. I don't know what's happening. He looks like he has frostbite on his face. He has no eyebrows, and his hair is snow.
No, he has eyebrows. They're also frozen.
And his eyes
See?
are frozen open.
Is he a man that likes to go out in the snow with no beanie
No.
until his face is frozen?
No, he fucking hates it. He didn't have any choice. So I'm very, very late to the story.
Why is everybody else around him warm with jackets on and not frozen hair?
See, I can easily explain that
Okay.
to the best of my knowledge, because this is apparently a thing that's been an internet sensation for a while that I only saw one thing, and I hope I have this basically right. He goes to some school, and he had to walk all the way to school in the really fucking cold, and he only had a light jacket on. His family's poor, and this is in China.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and then the school took him in once the photo of Frost Boy went viral, because no kid should be that cold showing up at school. But then they said they got so much unwanted media attention, and then they also said some government attention, which to me seems to sort of imply, hey, you're making us look bad by accepting the attention for the poor kid who came to school frozen, that the school actually kicked him out because they don't want the attention. And they basically just said that they're
kicked out for
gonna,
being frozen.
they're gonna give
Holy
Frozen
shit.
Boy's dad a bunch of money so he can go to some other school and or get a jacket.
Dude,
Fucking China. man.
how do you rise from you got expelled for being frozen?
Yeah.
How old
That's
is he?
almost like
It's like 9.
it's almost as bad as being fired for killing yourself.
Well, he's making the warm kids feel bad.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm aware of what's going on. Just can't
So he
believe.
walked to school in the frozen
I
snow,
think 3 miles.
and he got there and was so bone-chillingly cold that he brought negative attention to the school, and they said, "Oh, fuck that," and kicked him out.
It's a little bit lower, but yeah, those are the major bullets.
Holy mackerel!
Cool haircut though.
He looks sweet.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad.
He looks like he should be fighting in the UFC.
Can we send him to
We have
Romania?
heavily promote a guy with a 500 record.
He does look a little Sage Northcutty.
He looks pissed.
Wouldn't you be?
Yeah.
If you're a Frost
definitely.
boy?
Yeah, if I'm-
You can see the girl laughing in the picture at the top. You can see her
Oh
laughing.
my goodness. Let's see.
Poor thing.
I don't know if
An Ohio man broke his celebrated streak of eating at Chipotle at 500 days.
Wow.
Just a mission to never get laid again, huh?
Or leave the restaurant.
Don't give up. I guess it's a good idea to also bring it up too.
Did he? What was he doing that for? Just he loved it so much.
Yes, his name's Bruce Wayne.
You know, my daughter could probably run that. I argue with my daughter all the time about how, no, you cannot have Chipotle.
She wants it that bad.
She would try to have it for breakfast.
Wow.
It's good. It's good shit.
They all do. Like there's like a group of them that like think Chipotle is cool and you know what I mean, some YouTube fucking prick. You're all so
You do
stupid. I'm so much better than everybody.
$2 extra.
It's painful.
And then there is this Canadian girl.
Yeah.
This 14-year-old Canadian girl.
Yeah.
Who ran up $20,000 in damages by throwing a house party. Essentially, she got her hands on her parents' credit card.
Yeah.
And I think Airbnb'd a house.
Oh, okay.
And threw the awesomest
banger.
party ever.
A banger.
Cool.
Banger. That's what they call them.
Does she have to? The credit card's already paid, right? Like the parents paid for it. It's taken care of.
Well, the parents will have to pay for it.
Yeah.
It's going to be paid for by them.
And they're rich, yeah.
I don't see anything to indicate that. I think they just had a credit card with a high enough limit that she was able to do this.
It's like an American Express or something. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason to assume that they are rich. Police responded to a call to an uncontrolled party at a neighborhood home in West Vancouver. And when they arrived, nearly 200 teens were seen flooding out. If you're going to throw a
That's a good
$20,000 party in a rented home on your parents' credit card, make it a
Go
fucking-
big.
Yeah, everybody's invited. Left in their wake was a house with much destruction to walls, furniture, and artwork.
Yeah, this all makes sense to me. My daughter, 13, yesterday, and she was trying to arrange a house for everybody to come over and to have a party. And could somebody be at the door to like stop certain people getting in? And I was like, wait,
A bouncer?
you want a bouncer? And I'm like, who's coming that's not invited?
No, just someone to keep out the riffraff.
Yeah.
Maybe let the more attractive people in.
She doesn't know. I'm like, what are you, bottle service or something? She's like, what's bottle service? I'm like, you want a nightclub? What's a nightclub? I'm like, what you want to be 13 is a nightclub. So no, you can't have it.
Right.
And I'm like, and give me the list of the people that you want to come to the party. I'm like, if I rented a house, how many of these people think that they might damage that house and not care? Because if any of those people, you think that any of those people might be on that list, you need to get rid of those immediately. And then it went from like 49 to 21 or something.
You do that, you just see
There was that many people who were just tremendous assholes.
Not to mention she was banking on another 20 people for me to deny trying to come in so that they could talk about it at school tomorrow. Like I told their mother, and she said she told her friend, and they were all just laughing in hysterics that, because Devon's got daddy by herself. Like, I've got this idea for a birthday party, and I'm like writing stuff down. Like, okay, so a house, and then I'm like, and then Katie's typing stuff in. She's like, do you know how much money she has planned for you? And I'm like, what's going on here? What are you like, this much money for that? And I'm like, what? No, I'm not doing that. And then I didn't realize that there was at one point a guy on the door that was going to deny people coming in. I'm like, that's me, right?
She assumed it was you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's not happening. None of it's happening. And then at the restaurant, I'm like, what about a restaurant? You mean you can get your big table, all your friends can come. Well, it doesn't really go that long, and you'll be there. And I'm like, yeah, I will be. So will your fucking grandparents. Like, I don't say fucking. I just. But it's pretty crazy how I'm starting to sense that the ultimate party would be like if I just got like a nightclub rented for you and you guys could just pound apple juice. I don't know. Like you just there's one like it's
And
one thing
Chipotle,
you're missing that you don't
Chipotle.
realize yet. You know what I mean?
Chipotle.
Like you want boyfriends and you want to listen to hip hop and you want to DJ. You don't want to fuck. You don't want to drink. You don't want to take drugs. But you don't. But society has got you all lined up. You don't realize the one bit that's making this party not what you want it to be.
Right.
Naked fucking and drugs. Like that's the thing.
More than one bit.
Whatever. No, it's not. Once one starts, all the rest.
The coolest part is the part that they don't get.
Pretending. It's like they're all pretending to be Paris Hilton.
It's like,
And they don't know who Paris is, by the way.
It's like guys who walk out of a gym with like their gym bag and the gi or like their MMA shorts, but they never fight. You know, like
Right.
that's what they just constantly walk around with tap out on.
Right, but
they never ever fight.
But to know that I truly believe that I'm being played, but I'm not being. She doesn't have the game plan figured out. She's just trying to come up with what she thinks everybody would like
to look awesome.
Awesome, and she doesn't know. Like she doesn't know what a doorman is. She just wants a guy that cannot let certain people in. Like that's how she explained it to me.
Well, and also when you're a 13-year-old girl, I would imagine that's the ultimate coolness of being able to invite people and then subsequently deny them. Be like, ha ha ha, fuck you.
But also,
Take
people start swirling around the toilet bowl of human filth before they go all the way in and discover the sex and the you know, the drugs and what have you. Pop music is a really, really good example of this. I remember reading a thing with Missy Elliott because she did kind of suggestive stuff, but she was popular with kids, and they said, how do you square those two things? And she said, every pop song ever is about fucking, and kids just don't get it.
Yeah.
They miss it completely. She's like, you know what was a popular song when I was a kid? Sexual healing. We thought it was about doctors. Like it's just right there in front of their face, and until that light bulb goes off, you can lead that horse to water, and they won't get it. But they still like the song.
I thought Dr. Feelgood was about a doctor when I was, 8. I thought it was like, well, I was a guy's good doctor.
Let's get physical with exercising.
Nick's personal physician.
Really? I love that bass line, and I was like, oh yeah, it's pretty cool. I didn't know. I mean, I was probably 8, and I was like, oh, it's pretty rad. I didn't know what.
Man, I always when I was 12, I remember AC/DC. She's got the jack, and I remember everybody telling me it's you got scabs on your dick from fucking bitches, and I'm like, whoa, the jack is heavy. You want to get the jack, man?
Wait, I get what on my what from doing what?
Yeah.
I certainly didn't know like Mr. Brownstone and stuff, but I loved it. I thought it was so cool. I thought they were cool. Then you grow, you're like, oh, well, that's about him.
Yeah, the Dr. Feelgood video where the drug dealer like slits open the bag of cocaine and puts it on his mouth and then sells it to somebody and then gets murdered for it.
See, honestly, I know what you're saying, but to me,
yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
There's subtle context.
I just thought that was a video about drugs and they like drugs, but I thought Dr. Feelgood wasn't.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
the video, because that was at the height of like spending ridiculous amounts of money and guys on mountaintops doing guitar solos.
Do you think it's because of because I feel like I was not an intelligent boy, but the music that I was into was way more intense, and you took it in a more serious way. So to me, Master of Puppets, like chop your breakfast on a mirror, I knew what he meant. I knew what the fucking whole song meant from that. Where I was like, wait, it's he's talking the cocaine, Coke's talking to him. I hadn't done cocaine before. I just knew what he was talking about.
Something about that particular type of metal, it like bewildered me. Whereas like when I would listen to Metallica, I totally knew what like one was about. I was like the horrors of war and a man living in his own mind, but it was the same era.
Like Master of Puppets is about coke.
Yeah,
I have no idea what that song.
It was about drugs controlling you.
That one song is talking about. He's talking to drugs, and the drugs is talking to him.
Oh.
Halfway through the song, that's the drug. Now the drug starts talking to him.
Taste me all you see, more is all you need.
I
Dedicated to.
I think I just read into the album cover because the album cover.
Well, no, the
is
rest of the album,
soldiers,
the rest of the
right?
album is about the soldiers.
The government controlling.
Because I thought it was the Master of Puppets is the guys who send the people to
It's
war.
weird that
and everybody's in the war.
Fair,
as a puppet.
fair
the
analogy.
number one song, like the Master of Puppets song, that's based off the whole album. That one song is about drugs, but every other song on the album is about soldiers dying for, You know what I mean? For nothing.
See, that's why I
Soldier
liked-
Boy made of clay now an empty shell. Only
That's why
21,
I like, you
only
know,
son.
Two Life Crew or something. There was no confusion or body count. You know, I was like, oh,
Well, it's
Evil
a
Dick's
little-
about an evil dick that gets out at night and fucks.
Well, the difference, if you had a lot of music and people singing in and out of it, then the lyrics weren't so clear as, you know what I mean, fuck that bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
If you believe in eating pussy, hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Yeah, James
Right?
James sang
Well,
stuff. So
Yeah.
every now and then, I mean, Tony Hawk, for instance, thought that Sad But True was, what was it again?
Solemn
Sacred
Truth?
Trust.
Sacred Trust. There you go.
Sacred Trust. For 10 years. Sacred Trust!
No, it's Set Patrol.
Set Patrol.
Or was it Set Patrol?
Set Patrol.
It was Set Patrol?
Set Patrol.
No.
That was Andrew.
Oh, it was Andrew. Did
Yeah, you guys are trying to fuck up my shit. I know what I'm doing.
Set
Set Patrol. That's another dickhead who died.
He's passed. Don't talk about
Yeah.
that.
I thought the Rolling Stones' Beast of Burden was the pizza
Don't talk
party.
about the Disney.
I was like, that's
Why?
an awfully silly song. to be
I know, okay, one of my favorite skateboarders, Sack, who was super intimidating to me, who was in the skateboard shop, and Jimi Hendrix was on, and, it was like bandana time, where he had all these bandanas, he was cool, and he did drugs, and I was like super innocent, I was like, well, Sack's on the thing. There's just some kind of way out of here, said the Joker to the beast, no, did he say to the beast? To the Joker, to the beast. I don't know which one it was, but I know that my friend Gary, who was behind the counter, goes, and I'm like, what? And then I had to I'm like, what did he say? What did he say? And Gary's looking at me because we're both scared. We're kids. That, Sack had fucked up the lyrics.
Yeah.
And sang it clearly. And Jason, did you catch that? And I was like, I don't know, did I? And if I look at you too much, then Sack's going to catch it. So I'm not going to look at you too much because I don't want to get caught knowing that he said the wrong lyric. But then it was maybe a 10-year thing of the Joker to the Beast because we just made fun of... Because we were so scared of Sack. But Sack is stupid because he said Joker to the Beast. So we would just be like, oh, because he would say, oh, boys, how's it going, mate? I'm fucking Sack. I talk out the side of my mouth. Fucking watch what you fucking looking at. I'll fucking snap you. So then it would be like, oh, there must be some kind of way out of here, mate. So the Joker to the Beast. So then we would, we do Jimi Hendrix as Sack. For 10 years, I don't think, thank God he's in Australia, he's not listening, but I'd probably get beat up for this right now. What I'm saying, if I saw him again.
Wouldn't he be like a crusty old man now?
No, I see photos of him. He still skates. I mean, I've been able to beat him up since I was probably 17.
Yeah.
But all the years before that, one time I tried to drop in on him. He used to do this thing where he would kick in, which takes longer, but he would just throw his board onto the coping, and both trucks would land on the coping with the front foot on it, and then he would look at all of you, and you would all pull your board up, and then he would kick in. So he never beat you to it. He just fucking took it from you.
He stared you out of it.
Yeah, and I remember a long time ago, he wanted to fuck my mum before he knew it was my mum. Check out that chick. Who's that? It's my mum, mate. She's all right, Jason. I'm like, I can't say nothing. He didn't kick my ass. I think my mum was into him. But anyway, one time, he didn't like my grip tape, but I'd spent a long time, man, making checkers in checkers. Like I made checker inside a checker. We're talking fucking days for this grip tape. Look at this fucking poser with his checkers in his checkers. I was like, fuck off, Sack. What'd you say, cunt? And he grabbed my board and he pussy with his poser grip tape and he threw it in the trash.
Oh.
Yeah, well, what? I went and got it.
Yeah.
Fucking $300 skateboard. I'm not leaving it in the trash can. But I remember thinking, what a big bull. And he had a tattoo of like some dude with a sword on his arm. He was just such a badass. And then he became like, I came to America and came back like the best skateboarder in Australia and like big. I got big. And then we were just like friends and he was the nicest guy ever and he was always cool to me. And then when I got paid super rich to be a skateboarder and he's like, can I buy $300 off you, Chase? I was like, of course you can. And then he just left. Like he just took off right there and then. I didn't see him for like, I don't know how long. And then he was going to come over here and come crash at the house. He's like, crash, mate, we'll hang out. I'm like, I gotta work.
Yeah.
There's kids in the house. Yeah. I'm like, I can't. You can't. Like, because I was talking to him and I realized that what his life is exactly what it was when they were like, wake up, cunt, your turn to get breakfast. Go get McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like, I used to live on a couch with this guy and now we're old men and he's calling me, So it's crashing your pad, yeah? And I'm like, oh, I know what this is. This is... No, you can't. You can't. Oh, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, you could. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying when you get here, we're not bonging on. I'm not going to, like, crack a beer in the morning with you. All the things you think Jason's going to do, I don't do it anymore. As a matter of fact, if you were to crack a beer and do a bong rip in front of my kids in the morning, I'd be really angry at you. I didn't say that because I knew that would all be like, what are you fucking talking about, mate? Like, you changed, mate. I'm like, I didn't, yeah, okay. I mean, I know that could be an insult to a lot of people, but yeah, I did.
It's kind of what you're supposed to do in
well,
20 years.
I don't know. I don't think, for him, I get it. It worked for him. He's the kind of guy he has a giant tattoo of himself doing a Smith grind on the side of his ribs. And we always thought it was cool. We always thought it was cool that he did it because it was so retarded it was awesome.
Yeah.
And he fucking loved it so much that we loved him for loving it. Because it was back when fuck, I'm sick, mate. And I'm like, not really. Fuck yeah, I am a man cunt, alright. And I just believed him. And then to me now, he's got to be 55 because he was that much older than me, and I guarantee he's the fucking ramp this weekend. So he's harder than me. Wow. And and that was the other thing. He sucked, and that's when I went to the ramp, I flew like 8-10 feet above a 12-foot ramp all day whenever I wanted to. So I got my jollies off every time I went there.
Yeah.
And Sack is like scratching up a couple of grinds. Maybe he makes one backslide air a day, and it's like 6 inches above the coping, and he's there right now, and I'm like, nah, man. But I think it's because I got sport. I think if I do a 6-inch backslide air, which I could probably do, that is not going to make me happy on a Saturday. I'm going to be sad. Like maybe 1 week of like, oh, not only was that a bad backslide air, but it was really hard to do. So I think maybe it's kind of like, don't know what you've got if you haven't had it.
Yeah.
Sure. But I do see photos every now and then of him still in the mix with people, and I feel like I'm not real.
But there is something admirable about just living that life, just going hard for the rest of your life.
Well, the other thing is he never got a bunch of money. Like, Sack was really what I was the next generation of Sack. I was baby Sack. Like I was smoking bongs, sleeping on the couch, doing beer bongs, people shaving my eyebrows off. Ellis is a mad cunt and skates all day. And that's all I was ever going to be. And you never make any money out of that. And then you did. Then all of a sudden people went to American airplanes and people got paid. And then I would see Sack like every year I'd come back and he'd be like, fuck, let's get fucking E-bombers. And because you got, I heard you got money for skateboarding. Is that true? Yeah. Well, then let's get drugs, Chase. I'm like, fucking all right, let's do it. Like I was just destined to fail with that game plan. But for him, you worked, you got your check at the end of the week, you bought all the drugs and your beers with your friends, and you got a hangover, and then you went to work again, and you skated when you didn't. And that is it. So there was Sack never got like, hey, what about if I give you $100,000 to skateboard this year for this fucking t-shirt company? Sack never got that offer. And when that happens, it changes everything.
Sure.
It's the same as like when I was like, I remember doing airs the same height as Sack for 4 years in a row, and I never had more fun in my life of doing like a little air this high above the ramp. Woohoo! All day. And then I got good. You can't go backwards. You can't go like 8 feet near. I think I go like 8 feet near and I would look at people sometimes. Well, that guy's got a weird hat on. Now, to look at somebody in the air,
you're shitty.
I mean, you may as well just take a shot at me with a gun as well, see if I can fucking dodge the bullets, because that just seems like the dumbest thing ever attempted. Don't look anywhere but where you're going, Jason, or you will die. I don't know what happened. The gods took it.
We stopped doing it every day for hours and hours and hours on end.
I know, but okay, you're probably right. All right, I took it. I don't want it back.
We've moved on to bigger and better.
Yeah. I wonder. Just smoke bongs in the morning, do a beer, and then go to the ramp. How long would that last?
Yeah, that.
I wonder if Tony would hang out.
You sound like the guy who thinks if he got divorced and moved into the apartment complex, by the freeway, that things would be like they used to be.
Yeah. I remember that.
They won't.
No, they won't. No, I know. No, I know. Just
You get the fulfillment of like buying a home for your family and having your kids be like, oh, like Dad works hard and takes care of
My
us.
dad's
That,
gonna throw me a big party.
no,
don't get me
that's
wrong.
right.
The party, waking up to a beer
Bouncer
is
for the
fulfilling for 45 minutes, but
Security.
Yeah, no.
the lifelong fulfillment of knowing that you're not a giant pile of shit.
Yeah, but I don't. Well, it's different because I've got kids, so I won't let them. No, they have to have all the opportunities that they already have now for the rest of my life, because otherwise I would have let them down somehow.
Mhm.
But if I didn't have them, then if I was to drink a beer and go to the ramp, I'm not hurting anybody, you know. And he has a kid, but I remember when he had his kid and the wife thing was never really a planned thing, and you know he tried to see him as much as he could, but it was never a family unit ever.
Right.
So you know, I think he lived in another state by the time he was a little guy. So it's a different world, man. It's a hard. I mean, he's from a harder time. You know, his stories would make me feel soft. He would, you know, they grew up skating ditches and shit. And one of them would have one photo. They'd all had together. One of them had one photo of this park that they talked about, and they look at the photo of it. This is what we used to ride. I'm like, that's a piece of shit. We fucking loved it. Came here every day for 10 years. I'm like, man, you guys are fucking way harder than me. I would not skateboard it. It went to it was a drain. It wasn't made for skateboarding.
Right.
And then they found it, and they just became skateboarders in it for 10 years. Some concrete piece of shit. Praise the Lord on it. And that's why they look at the things now. So they've done so much. So fast, you know?
Right.
If you're young, if you're from a certain era, it's grown so much for them. Like for me, it was already, they built some stuff. Like if you're back in the sidewalk surfing, you can still, nobody's dying. Those are 50-year-olds. Mike McGill. Remember Mike McGill? He's been on here, right? Cab's friend. I saw a video of him doing some shit in a contest on Instagram, and I was like, it's 1975 or something, and I'm like, oh my god, I know you, Mike. You're like you don't look like a Jason. He's just a man. He's not, he's not a boy, but he's not an old man, and he was doing like fucking saran wraps and just crazy shit in 1975, and I never knew that because I didn't watch skateboarding in 1975.
That was, I think that's my first board was a McGill. I was like a little boy, you know.
That dude rides dirt bikes now and goes to supercrosses. Hey Jay, how's it going? I just don't realize what a legend. It's so hardcore to ride some empty pool in 1975 and do. It's so much more gangster than.
It's crazy.
The ramp made for skateboarding. Of course we're gonna fly out of it. We fucking made it for it.
You see,
these dudes found somebody's pool.
It's like seeing dudes in Hawaii in the 40s and 50s surfing on a plank.
I was gonna
say
no
wetsuit, just a fucking like 40-foot face, and it's like
because some of those dudes still now I've seen videos of people just to prove a point riding the log in the water. It makes no sense how they
completely like it's just like not even sanded down. They have no understanding of like aerodynamics and they're just let's barge it.
I can't get on the fucking wave with like a longboard with wax on it.
Perfectly balanced. Yeah, I know. I totally agree.
Fuck those guys.
Well, it's always cool when people are doing things that aren't things. Like, I think it's cool that there's still people around the MMA world that did it when it barely even had a name.
Right.
I always love people who make a really good living at things that you could not make a really good living at when they got super into it.
Yeah! Sorry.
I'm always really happy for those people.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another example, but it escapes me.
Hockey players.
That's right. Hockey's gotten really big in the last couple of years.
No, you just have to go back like 50 back further than skateboarding when they had the leather hats and then they got proper helmets. And then everybody who had leather helmets said people that wear proper helmets are pussies.
Did they have the leather helmets, or did they just go around helmetless?
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Helmetless,
American
yeah.
football are the leather
Oh,
helmet
okay,
guys.
my bad. So then hockey players that were pro hockey players that didn't wear helmets, if you wore a helmet, then you're a pussy.
Fucking goalies didn't wear helmets.
You
It's
still are.
insane. It's fucking insane.
I mean, they weren't as good as they are now, but they were still. I bet you they were still pretty good at hockey.
It's insane.
Right?
Yeah.
That guy must have been ugly.
Oh,
Like, I mean-
super gnarly. Yeah.
Oh, wait. There's photos of all those dudes having, like, crazy cut-up faces, right?
Oh yeah. Right.
They don't make them like they used to.
Yeah. The first time I used a baseball glove was a fucking pussy.
Yeah!
He made it flesh. It was more like a glove. It
Yeah.
was flesh. He didn't want people to know that he was wearing a glove.
Think about boxing, oh my god. Think about boxing 150 years, 120 years ago.
What's the most
think
rounds
about, like 35 round fights, 50 round fights.
Was it 50 rounds?
Oh yeah, they wouldn't,
No, they hit triple digits for sure. Bare knuckle,
What do you mean?
triple digit rounds.
Yeah. Like 100, over 100.
No.
Look it up.
Look it up,
I mean, I
yeah.
wasn't there.
How do you punch somebody in the face with no gloves on for 100 rounds?
I'm guessing they didn't have a lot of
How bad
torque
of
in
a-
those punches, but
Well, so what?
still, you're right. I mean,
they were tough guys and they punch each other. I mean, what were they, just hitting each other with like flabby pieces of salami by the end of it? How are your hands not broken?
well, there's also like the Machado brothers and like Hickson and stuff talk about like 45-minute matches and stuff.
Yeah, but 45-minute matches when you're on the ground holding people in things, that takes up a lot of that
It's
time.
different, but still,
if it's
I mean-
just bare knuckle punches to the face, 100 rounds. I mean, and I don't think any of these guys are Floyd Mayweather. I feel like all of these punches are landing.
Here you go. On April 6th, 1893, Andy Bowen and Jack Burke were involved in the longest fight in history. The fight lasted 110 3-minute rounds. 7 hours and 19 minutes.
Holy shit.
No contest.
What do you mean no contest?
I don't even won!
Declared John Duffy, the referee, declared no contest, both men having become too dazed and tired to come out of their corners.
Right?
Agreed.
I mean, what kind of a ref?
But look,
Like they were gonna come up again in the 131st round, and he was like, "Guys, I think we can." Like, no, not after 100. No, one of them has to die, ref.
Andy Bowen looks like Joe C.
Wait, is that? Oh wow.
Come here, see?
Man, that is.
I'm gonna give you a piece of this.
Look at these killing machines.
Man, that's a sick mustache, though. Man, punching each other in that. Man, I want to go back because I feel like they all did the okay, see, look at the hands down thing.
Yeah.
I feel like with my MMA abilities that I know of, I feel like I'd be like, these guys know nothing about like teeps.
They all
And,
got mustaches.
you know what I mean? Like elbows. These guys, I would dominate.
Of course not. Yeah, we're all standing on the shoulders of giants. Pretty much whatever we do.
Yeah. I always had the fantasy of the time machine skateboarding because there was just a zone of new tricks that weren't any harder. It was just somebody was like, "Hey, you can go do it this way too," and I was like, "Man, there's a 10-year like school of learning here where if I could get back, I would beat Tony easily."
Think about like freestyle moto. You don't even have to go back that far.
Oh, the backflip guy.
Yeah, go 20 years to like any guy in the X Games now freestyle moto. And it's going 20 years back. A couple backflips. Holy shit!
Before Kerry Hart did the backflip, if you were one of the guys now that does the Superman backflips, you would be the richest person in action sports. Yeah.
And they'd probably be like, well, we just watched an illusion. That's not real.
Right, it'd be awesome until they burned you.
Yeah. Like if they sent Randy Rhodes.
Wait, X Games wasn't that long ago. Travis Pastrana did
X
a double.
Games negative 300 in Salem, Massachusetts.
X Games.
Winner gets burned.
When was the first X Games in the 90s, right? What kind of trick did you have to do in 1997 to be burned? Like, what could Tony Hawk or Travis Pastrana do at the first X Games in San Francisco where everyone went, "Wait, no! Stop it! And get the cops! On the cross!"
Yeah, Christians are outside.
Yeah.
protesting the X Games.
Everybody hold him down! Hold him down! down until the authorities get here. Like, I'm holding Tony Hawk on the ground, and I'm screaming and crying because I think my hands might catch on fire.
Dousing him.
I'm holding a demon! Somebody arrest him!
Get the kids out of here.
Yeah, what trick did he do to deserve immediate arrest and being set on fire?
See, I don't think street skating is that
Christ-
same way. Christ.
Christ, it was done in the 80s.
I don't think street skating is the same way. Like, if you took a street skateboarder from now and, he's just putzing around, I don't think, like, Rodney Mullen would be that blown away.
Yeah, he would be blown away from the... Yeah, he would be, but it wouldn't. You wouldn't be burned at the stake.
Because it's less obvious. It's much more subtle what they're doing.
Yeah, and guys were doing, like...
The naked eye can't understand that they're witches.
Right. No, but Moto, the big super trick, everyone will understand that they are witches immediately.
Yeah, Cowboy Kenny's the only guy who gets out of there alive.
Oh, Cowboy Kenny is nowhere near a Satanist. But no, if it's not the double backflip, because people can comprehend too. But if you did a backflip where they do they let go and they're upside down, the look back backflip. No, I truly believe that a couple of kids might kill themselves right there and then. Might set themselves on fire. And then, of course, obviously, the authorities would burn Travis immediately.
Right. And this is why we could never invent time travel.
Enjoy your weekend and the fights and everything in your life and all that shit. I'm going to the Pink Taco. When are you guys going there?
7 o'clock.
At 7 o'clock
I made a
on
reservation
Sunset.
for 6:30 just in case anybody wanted to come early.
There you go.
But
6:30.
7 o'clock.
All right.
But more like 7.
More like 7.
Yeah, but be on time.
Yeah.
You know, kind of be on time. It's kind of cool.
Don't die.
See, it's warmer in here. The light. For sure. Is it the lights, Jen? I thought it was the mic. Oh, no.
I'm emitting a
It's like
tremendous
gas.
amount of heat.
Totally